What's another good group name that I just came up with?
Is what?
One big perception check.
I believe we'll do a perception check.
I feel like that's pretty accurate to any D&D.
I believe we officially voted for SomebodyDice.
We did, and I like that one too.
That was a real surprise for me.
We're not changing it.
We're changing it?
No.
If you would notice how many of those
I'm
ideas
so
I came up
excited
with,
for
I'll tell
all
you.
of us to die tonight.
Somebody dies. Yeah.
I actually don't want to dial with my character at this point.
Okay,
But it's fine.
Are we going? Are we recording? Are we starting?
I am ready for death. I have made my peace with the approach of death.
This
if it
might
may
actually be the TPK, so we'll see.
What's TPK?
Total party kill. Or total party wipe.
I'm not sure that I'm emotionally prepared for a party wipe, but I'm prepared for personal Warren-shaped death. For Warren-shaped
It's about the same either way.
I want my character to find Randobaris.
I was in at 6.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, if we're putting it out there, I don't want to die.
Alright guys,
but
we're gonna do the recap.
Somebody dies.
fate.
So
Somebody dies.
I thought somebody already diced.
Anna,
somebody already
you
dies.
get a recap for us.
Oh, I don't.
Alright, let's see.
All right.
We were traveling through the really bizarre, wild magic-soaked area that leads up to the thorn wall. We must have passed through it at some point, and we had a theory about when exactly we did, and we came into the inner area. We briefly got distracted by a house that had nothing in it but a noise, but that's okay. And a body, a very old body. I've been there for a long time.
Skeletal.
I think I recall the noise has been following us.
And we didn't actually get attacked by mimicking birds, but I thought we were.
I scared the crud out of Warren.
Everybody's gotten a note except me.
I thought
He
for
was very
sure that was the
about
predecessor for an attack, and I was making
Do you
the first
remember what you noticed?
jab. So at the end of some various journeys and distractions, we actually did make it safely to the castle behind the thorn wall, and we've done some mild to moderate searching of the castle, but we haven't gotten very far. I think we stopped for a short rest in one of the rooms.
And Burl went
didn't
out
let
and
me
started
take-
playing with bones. This is probably not a good choice on her
They
part.
didn't let me take the
Yep.
crown.
So-
I remember that.
So when we left, we were all in a room going to bed. Burl is out doing something with bones,
Yeah.
and then
Hey,
it's getting dark, right? It was dark.
Yeah, it was starting. The sun was starting to set.
Sun was starting to
Here's
set.
my character.
And we're in a room somewhere in this castle because that we were reasonably sure didn't have anything creepy in it.
No dead bodies.
Isn't there the
Except for the
king and
bones
queen?
outside.
They were in the throne room.
There were dead people
sitting
everywhere.
on their thrones.
On their throne, because I
Bones
wanted
and
to
all.
get their crown.
Yep.
And Bran didn't let me.
Nope.
It's because Bran has a sense of justice and honor.
You
Somebody has to
killed
in this
my
group.
Character.
And
That's the knife in my arm.
just clerical note. Bran is still trying to figure out his accent, so we'll figure it out as we go.
Maybe that could be
We'll
a
find
sad
out he's actually a
I
spy.
don't know. Yeah, I remember this mumble the whole time.
Speaking of accents, I need to try and make Burl sound younger.
Mumbly Bran all the time.
Bran.
I'll just like say everything under his breath.
Your
Like,
favorite Bran channel.
What?
Bran all the time.
so the audio's not even gonna pick it up.
You have to like all your notes will have to be.
That would be like an
subtitles for
audio
your
nightmare
area.
forever. That's
For me, I'm the one who has to edit that stuff.
Okay, so I believe that a short rest had happened, or was about to happen.
Long rest. Long rest.
No, long rest is a week.
Oh yeah, we're doing.
We just
That's
changed
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Short rest.
We're running my rules in my world, not necessarily player's handbook exact.
Now today we see if that world kills us.
Hey,
Yes.
All right.
be excited. Oh,
Where's my map?
Burl's so young and she still has so much ahead of her.
Just done.
She's got her whole.
Anyway. Sorry.
I mean, she's like.
Terrible.
I was gonna say molesting,
she
but
threw
that's
her
not the
lot
right
in
word.
with coups, so I think all of that potential went down the drain once that happened.
I mean, it's
That's
kind of
harsh.
true, but it's also kind of like it hurts.
Yeah.
Don't
What's
worry,
it?
just be smart and stick together, and we will get out of this alive if we know
I think
when
I
to
want
run
to go
away.
somewhere else.
That's like a
Another
death
clerical
right
note
there.
from Bran is that I don't remember what personality I was using to play as him.
He was really boring.
Bran normal man.
That's what I was going for, but I don't remember exactly
I
any
think that's the
nuances. So
point.
if I seem like a different character, that's because I don't remember what I was doing.
Yeah. So what was Burl doing?
Burl?
It was
She's
so boring,
like,
I don't
I was
remember.
gonna say molesting a corpse, but that's not the right
That's
word.
not it.
Wow.
It's not the right word. It's the other one.
Disrespecting, defacing.
Defacing. That's the word.
Desecrating.
Desecrate. No,
Defecating.
That was
No, that's not the right one.
That's
I
it.
did that in the mansion.
We're buying Nakiatosaurus.
Oh gosh.
That's not a dinosaur.
That was a good day.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just took all the bones and I tried to make an amalgamy of chaos to see if I could get Brand Virus's attention because supposedly he's this crazy trickster guy who likes that kind of stuff, but I guess it didn't do any good.
Alright,
Look, if anyone who just banged some bones together summoned like powerful entities, I mean, the world would not be here.
I was thinking like Discord from My Little Pony, you know, just trying to be
your
chaotic.
Web. Weave your web, DM. Weave your web.
Alright, so you guys have kind of side doors, kind of more of the servants' areas. There were some light kind of beds in one or two, so you guys found a pretty easy place to rest up and kind of bar the door. And,
We barred the door.
well, if you want to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming you have some kind of way to do so.
Cool.
And so you guys have kind of set up for a short or long rest.
I think we'll brand the door. I'll sleep like right next to the door.
Brand the door.
I respect that.
Okay, sounds good.
Is he that heavy?
Well, I mean,
No.
no.
I'm not
Any person that he's got armor and stuff. I don't know.
That's sad. I don't know.
I feel like we would definitely be sleeping on Nakia's face.
Just remember,
Like
this
a
is
cat.
this is slow rest. So if you long rest, it would take a week
Right.
of time.
Maybe we're a short
Right.
rest.
So the day passes. Kind of, you guys rest, you heal up, you fix wounds. Let me roll a die or two.
We got through
And
that
say
without
interesting.
anybody attacking us.
No, don't count your chickens before the hatch.
I mean, it just sounded like he said that we rested up and everything.
Not yet. Give me a. What's your passive perception, Coop?
That's
My passive perception 16.
Freezing.
That's Warren's.
You notice your pack
start double.
rustles a bit,
Oh no!
and halfway into the rest. What do?
I want to poke my bag.
Your bag kind of stops rustling.
I mean, this
poking
one's
it.
kind of
I'm gonna
good.
poke it again.
That
This
rustles,
guy?
but,
That's a
but
bard.
like just once like a startled rustle.
Uh-oh.
You're like, what are you
I feel like I'm gonna keep poking it for a little bit.
Okay.
cute? What are you trying to smuggle in there now?
It just started moving.
Sure it did.
Are we all awake
And now it's a moon.
at this point?
And now it's a game.
People are
Which is
on and off
working.
awake, so you can be awake if you want to be. Remember, it takes a full day though of just you guys relaxing,
This is
fixing
part of that
stuff.
full day.
Yeah, so I assume everyone could be awake if they
think-
want.
Bran is gonna be definitely sleeping. Still.
I'm asleep.
I'm probably, after a few minutes of just like poking it,
Okay.
then I'll try opening my pack and see if something comes out.
Warren is
Oh,
awake
wait.
because the cat has shifted and started hissing, and he's got like an arrow pointed at it, like his
Don't
usual lack of
shoot
trust
me.
on anything that isn't familiar. No, just the bag. Just in
Oh, I
case.
thought you were pointing at the cat. I was very confused.
No.
Let me see. I have a good song for this.
Oh no.
All right. So as you open
The
your
proper
bag, one
start
of
to
those
a
blue
party
birds'
life.
faces, and it just like rises out of it and gives you the look.
What is it?
One of the bluebirds that you found on the way
Bird.
into the place.
So bad.
She's gonna be like, hey!
Yeah.
Very loud. I think we're awake at this.
That's probably what she
Are we
does
awake
to
yet?
that
I think
wall.
we're awake at this point.
Yeah.
She screams hey and everybody
Name him
wakes up.
Kevin.
It's
the music
kind of like
suggests.
giving you the rundown of the face. Can you
The bird.
describe-
That
describe
bird
these birds
face.
again? These birds have sort of a parrot-like kind of curved beak.
Okay.
They have this blue plumage that's sort of a sapphire, almost like light sky blue. They're about, almost 2 feet tall. So they're actually quite large when they and they like to stick their heads up and do the
It's
look.
so amazing
Do they
that
have
it
long
fit in my
legs?
pack.
They don't have massively
It's
long
that
legs,
big.
but they do have like almost a foot of leg.
You are a small
Okay,
person.
because I was envisioning like those
Bag.
birds from like Alice in Wonderland, the ones that they make croquet mallets out of.
That's not an inactive thing, but those are flamingos, and this is like
Well,
not
they're
as
like
tall.
different color flamingos. That's
It
what I was
ate
thinking.
several
about.
things
That's
that
the
are-
whole time that I was
Maybe.
trying to-
Imagine more. It's the same size, but maybe more is bird and less is leg.
Okay, sounds good,
It's
Oh
basically
my
just the bird from Rio.
It's really not though.
but with longer legs. We've established this.
Anyway, so it's
Okay, good
having
to
a
know.
good time. Yeah.
I'm having a good time. I'm definitely gonna try and make it my friend.
Okay, how do you do that?
First with food.
Okay, what kind of food do you offer?
Whatever food I have. I think I still have like garlic unless I ate that.
You can offer garlic.
I'm gonna offer it garlic.
All right. Let's see if the bird likes garlic. The bird is ambivalent on garlic.
Is that bird kind of ambivalent? We're like,
It turns its head again the other way, but it doesn't do anything. It's just like it's looking.
She's just like
It
gonna get closer
acknowledges
with
your
it.
garlic.
It doesn't acknowledge me. She's just like getting closer with it, like
I'll pull out the little puppet that I brought with me to Bogdanas that's all covered in paint and be like, pretty bird, pretty bird. I'm like,
This is my bird. This is my bird.
How close are you to it?
Maybe like a foot or two away.
Yeah, it smacks it with its beak.
Okay, so
There can only be one.
I'm also like shoving her out of the way, like this is mine.
Brand has a deep respect for all creatures and people, and so he's going to give it a nod of respect.
I'm
The bird
asleep.
acknowledges your respect, but let's see if the bird respects you in return.
It doesn't respect me. I'm gonna try. Do I have
you
an
need
apple?
to show
Can
it
I pretend that I have an
respect
apple?
before you return.
You have an apple?
Yes.
Brand.
Can I pretend I have in my
Pretend?
rations?
Sure.
Cool. I'm gonna try and give it a piece of an apple now. You're like,
Okay.
eh?
The bird likes the apple. It takes the apple with a foot and keeps the apple. And it's still in your pack, by the way.
So these are the birds that we're like mimicking too. They can make noises.
Yeah, I murdered
If they
one.
wish.
Interesting. Yeah, you murdered one and I buried it. I remember that.
Respectfully.
I remember that.
I'm still pointing my arrow at this one, by the way. I'm not deceived by this cute display.
Who's
Okay,
taken by it?
So definitely, when nobody else is looking, Brand's gonna try and come up with a secret handshake with this thing, like bro handshake.
Well, that's not gonna be soon, because Koo is enthralled with this bird right now.
He's very eager
We
for
have
the
a new
bird.
mascot.
I love this bird.
I thought I was the mascot.
You were the
You
mascot.
are now.
You're not.
Always my
You're
bird.
desecrating bones, so you're not even there.
I guess you've lost.
Wait, are you? Are you
No,
just-
you
lost
can't
mascot
get me.
status because you took off your mask or something.
That's
Some
right.
rules.
That's right. No, I was gonna. Okay, we forgot when we left off that Brand was gonna come get her
Yeah.
because he
and then
didn't want to leave her out
brought me
there.
back.
That's fine. I'll let you do it.
Okay, pretend
It
you're back.
happens.
You're back
You
with
guys
us.
are all right.
Knock some sense into her.
You do some dice
like,
rolling,
don't
though.
you just create those?
Interesting.
Oh no.
Backhand.
Anyways, the bird's just in the pack doing things and kind of like, so.
She's probably like after like a minute of just like looking at it with this big grin on her face. She'd be like, "Come here."
Knock ya?
The bird goes like,
I'm asleep.
come here.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say.
She's gonna
guaranteed-
scoot closer to
Guaranteed
it
it's defecated in
and
there
like
once,
try
at
and
least.
poke it.
Yeah.
Just for your benefit.
Maybe not poke it, but like touch it.
Both.
Bird scoots up and then like
One of the
pokes
things
your
in this
hand.
case.
Pokes my hand.
Yeah,
I'm
with
gonna
its
poke
beak.
it back. We're bonding.
It wins the initiative roll. The bird wins. It pokes you before you can poke it.
I'm just gonna scoot a little bit closer to it again. Like
You are now also in the bag.
essentially that might be what I'm
It gives you the
trying to
face
get
look. Again.
at. I just want to be friends with this bird. I don't know how to make friends with birds.
Try rolling an animal handling check.
That might be useful, yeah.
Nope. It's gonna be a 4, man.
Yeah, that's definitely not good enough. This
It might
bird's
be
like, you
really
can't
big.
train me. And then kind of turns around and gives you like a sassy head look.
So
She's
since
just gonna be like, no, come back.
since the bird and I have shared a mutual respect, can I roll for animal handling?
Yes, you can.
That is a 20.
Ooh.
15 plus 5.
If it was not 20, I would have
He's
been like,
stealing the
what?
bird's affection.
He is. I'm
I
so
have lots
sad.
of wisdom as a cleric, and that's
I do not. I have no wisdom.
What are you trying to do with the animal handling check?
I'll just give it another deeper head nod.
Alright, let's see what the bird thinks. Well, you rolled pretty well, so the bird is just like, nods again.
I feel like we're bonding with each nod.
Respect.
Okay.
Definitely, Ku's gonna like look at Bran, look at the bird, look at Bran, and be like, "Teach me your way. I want this bird to like me."
Okay. Well, I have a song by the Temptations for you. R-E-S-P-C-T.
I am.
I know what it means to me. Bran's gonna continue reciting the words in like a monotone voice. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Let's see.
I think I'm not trying to undermine you bonding with this bird. I just want respect. Bran craves respect in all parts of his life.
I'm just gonna get close to the bird and just watch it for a while.
Alright.
Because she doesn't know what else to do
Give me a
to make this
charisma.
bird like her.
Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Christmas saving throw.
You have a wild magic infused bird with you.
18.
Nothing about this
The
screams
bird does
danger.
look away first, but it does take about 30 minutes.
You're just staring contest with this bird for 30 minutes.
Which kind of gives enough time for you guys to start noticing that this room you're in, it doesn't necessarily have the best window. And by window, I mean like a small slat thing that has a small window opening. But there is a window.
Oh no.
And you guys are noticing that the moon's starting to come up. And it's the middle of the night, and it's sort of getting early as well. Sun might be up in like 6 hours.
What face is that moon? Beryl is very curious to know.
Well, it's been about 3 days since the last one, so I'm going to say it's, starting to kind of wax again.
Okay. Wane, you mean?
But where was it
Small
3
one.
days ago?
When I
It
got
was
bit.
full.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because we were attacked by the werewolf 3 days ago.
True.
So the way this
Sorry.
moon cycle does work in Yusithia, it doesn't actually wane after a full moon. It just kind of resets in a weird way.
So it goes full, new, and then starts refilling again.
That's lore significant, but I can't explain to you
Interesting.
without giving things away that none of your characters know.
Okay.
I
Alright.
love it.
Well, we would know that it does this because
Yes.
we've lived in Cynthia.
Which means you have half
So you
as
have a
much
full
time
moon,
to
and
be
then it's
ready.
immediately followed by a new moon. There's just like the next day.
So it goes full moon, then just
No joke. When I was younger, I thought that was how it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, it's weird.
I mean, it technically does work like that.
New moon,
It's just it
no
takes
moon.
like half the time
15 days
to get.
there. Okay. So we would have to stay put for until tomorrow evening to get a full long rest out of this.
A full long rest would take
No,
a
full
week.
I mean, a
rest
full
is-
short rest.
Yeah, you guys can stay until I guess until the next sort of sunset, almost.
So, Koo, are you gonna keep trying to bond with this bird?
Until she gets super tired and sleeps for like
Okay.
3 hours.
No, Bran's just asking. So he's gonna take pity on her, and he's gonna reach out and touch her and cast guidance, which gives her an extra D4 on ability checks.
Alright, well, you can reroll your animal handling if you want.
Yes! And an extra D4.
And then Bran will also give a nod of respect.
Ugh,
I think that's gonna be Bran's thing. He's gonna give everything a nod of respect.
that's
'Cause he
an
respects
11.
everything.
11?
Yeah.
With the +4?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, plus
goodness.
4 or just a D4?
It's a D4.
Yeah, I got a 1 on my D4.
Oh goodness.
And a 9 on my.
I can only do so much.
Well, that's not good enough. The bird
That's
is
okay,
not
she's
tame,
really bad
and
with-
it's decided to start walking around beds and like doing its bird thing.
I do want to say that when I won the staring contest, she did go yes.
Okay.
Warren is still like following it with his bow as it moves
Bran's
around.
gonna. Okay, Bran needs to put some managing on this bow situation. So
Okay.
I'm gonna fist bump the bird.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, does it work?
Yeah, the bird, like, you reach out a fist, the bird gives you its beak.
Bam. Okay. And then I'm gonna hold open my bag for it to jump in.
Alright, give me an animal handling check.
Hernan is stealing your bird cue.
Well, I just don't want it
She's
shot
gonna
by
be
an
very
arrow.
sad.
I want to
I'm
protect
not gonna shoot at it. I still don't
Isn't that
trust
what
it.
bows are
That is a
for?
21.
21.
Only if you let
Yeah,
go
the
of one part of
bird
the
gets
bow.
what you mean, it jumps in.
Okay.
Chris
I'm gonna-
gonna be very depressed.
As it goes in, though, it's looking at Warren with the bow, and it gives you the look as it just sinks its head down in.
Is it just staring at me as
So-
it goes in?
Woo, 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 just all the way down.
Okay, so then
And then kind of glares over the top and then goes back down.
and then Brandon's gonna reach, like, poke his head in the bag and whisper something to the bird.
What does he whisper to the bird?
He's gonna whisper to the bird.
Prepare
and
to
he's
get it
gonna say,
echoed back at you, because I don't
Hey.
think it'll understand.
Hey bird, you. Hey, you see that? You see that gnome over there? She's put a lot of investment into having you, and I think you need to take this seriously. And I'm gonna have a heart-to-heart with the bird.
The bird bites your nose in a friendly, affectionate manner.
Okay, good. Okay, that could have gone worse.
And I will say, I
It
too,
deals 20 points of damage. No, just kidding.
and I will say, sometimes I too feel that way about her.
You just met her.
But
3 days ago.
But I just met her, and she's growing on me. So give it some time.
That's good.
That's all I'm asking.
It's hard for me to grow on people.
Because you're no.
try so
And I'm trying to
show-
whisper.
Oh, I thought it was because I have no civic virtue.
And Brent's trying to whisper this
That too.
out of
That
earshot of everybody else.
Alright, fair enough.
Heart to heart with the bird.
Burl's probably just bored of the situation.
Now that we're
and
bonding.
she wants to go play with her dog.
Wait, you need to stay
Dude, it's
put
like the
for
middle of the
another
night.
day
I'm asleep.
Yeah, we can't.
to get the full benefit
Where
of
is
your
your
rest.
dog?
Yeah,
He's probably with me. He's always with me.
Okay.
I'm asleep.
So we
You
have
can
a
play
dog,
with him,
a
but
cat,
very
and a bird.
lazily.
Anybody keeping watch, by the way?
We have a
Yep.
dog, a cat, and a bird. Well, I'm
They're all
still.
up right now.
I'm still.
They're
I'm still
both
branding
awake.
the door, Ben.
I'm sleeping on your face.
So
Okay.
I know.
the door is considered brand.
I'm sleeping on my stomach, so you're sleeping on my head.
B-R-A-N.
Unless you're underneath my head.
apostrophe D.
Okay.
Which
Breaded.
would be
Burl would
smothered.
offer to take watch, but where she's been exhausted these past few days, she's
I'd
gonna
probably
take
be
every
sleeping
opportunity
over
she
your-
can to rest.
Yeah. So Brand's
Yes,
not.
or a back.
Okay.
Brand's not
Just one of those,
keeping
you know,
watch
she
exactly.
toddles
He's just
them.
dozing right on the door, like
All
next
right.
to the door.
Who takes the third shift?
I don't know if we're taking. Are we doing shifts?
You probably
Probably
should.
eventually. I mean,
I mean,
No, the other way.
you don't have to, but I'm just assuming
No,
that.
the other
throughout
way.
the night.
Yeah.
I'll take the third shift. I don't know.
I'll take the third shift. It's
What's
fine.
the rule about shifts?
What's
we
your
didn't do
perception?
shifts.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception. Well, who's taking the third shift? We didn't decide that.
Oh, you are because you
I
said.
will do it.
Or Warren. Warren,
I
what's your
mean,
passive?
like,
You're
if people
already
want me
taking
to take a
whatever the
shift,
second shift
you'll
is.
just have to wake up my character and tell me that.
All right. Well, just for future reference, my passive perception is 15.
Cool.
Okay.
What's yours, Warren?
It's 12.
Okay.
Mine's 11.
Unfortunately, nothing really seems that unusual. The moonlight seems a bit strong for this
Crap.
early, but nothing too noticeable. And the night passes, and you
That's
guys
not what you wanna
seem kind of okay. And
Kind of okay.
the day comes, you know, the daylight comes into the chamber, you're still resting up. Some of your wounds are healing up a bit.
I
You
don't
know.
have any.
I didn't either.
I know people, some of you had a few minor wounds, if you want to heal those.
Someone like steps in a bush or something.
Oh, you guys are doing
Guys,
fantastic.
I do have one lost hit point,
Yep.
and I will not recover it.
feeling
with
better.
the dice.
Whatever
gonna
happened
take
to
that.
those things that people had?
Did I take any damage when it nipped
The
me
like
on the
little
nose?
slips of paper that people had?
They all basically gave them to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's the days going
I
by.
don't know what
It's
mine was.
I have no idea.
kind of
I don't even
creepy
remember
being
what
in a
mine was.
castle full of
Even though
dead
I-
people.
It does seem creepy. Can I go?
Yeah.
When the morning breaks, Bran would start getting curious and start exploring.
Yeah, I want to investigate the castle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys. You won't have a full night's rest though if you do in the morning because you started resting at night. And
Would I take exhaustion?
No, you just
No.
won't get the full benefits.
You just won't be able to like actually recover hit dice or
Oh, I don't need any of
spell
that.
slots or anything.
I don't need any of that.
I don't think either of us need. Well, do I have any spell slots I've used?
I don't think I used any. Let me check if I used
We
any.
might be okay to move then. My everything on me seems to be at full.
Yeah, I don't have
full.
any. I don't.
Oh my
Have,
God.
I haven't used any spell slots, so I think I'm.
Although, if everybody's off wandering around, Burl would take the opportunity to turn and read that book that she took from the girl.
I don't think people should wander off alone.
Okay.
I'm totally fine with wandering off alone
Make
and
a
then
roll.
running back with this
Give me
skeleton.
a wisdom saving throw. Actually, no, charisma. Give me a charisma saving throw, bro.
That's
Okay.
It was charisma. I remember that. Good times.
That would make 16.
That's not amazing, but it's just as good as Grog did. So, hey.
It is just.
Your mind is starting to be filled with strange things you don't really understand. And the words seem to bleed red on the book, but you don't even know the language they're in.
Welcome to the club.
It's getting a bit weird. Give me one more roll this time. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Means you're the next to know.
They're like, oh boy, this is weird. Yeah, that's a 4.
You're not sure you can handle this kind of mental stuff.
I'm like, whoa boy.
You're starting to it's just gross. You're seeing lines and letters written in blood on the walls. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
But we're all in the room with the right.
Oh, I thought we
We're
were
all in the room with
exploring.
the right.
Yeah, but you can't see what she's seeing.
Ah, dang. Well, I just wanted to. No,
That makes a 9.
You can't guidance her. I'm
Dang
sorry.
it.
Nine?
Sorry,
That's not good enough. You take
Great.
a point of physical damage. Hey, best possible damage roll.
That's
You
true.
got a paper cut.
And yeah, but that's in blood from your eyes, so you don't feel so high.
Oh, yeah.
And the book snaps shut
Aw,
on you.
nothing's very good later.
Today.
Probably just be rubbing it back and be like, okay, that was unpleasant.
All right, that was exciting. Who else is? So you did that. Everyone else is just going to explore this castle a bit.
Yep.
I will accompany.
I'll
somebody
probably
who's
be
exploring.
like, if I get into trouble, I'll ring my bell.
Is everybody leaving?
I'm
yeah.
up. I'm doing
I guess we could pair up.
Brand's leaving.
Are you leaving?
Here.
I'll go with Nakia.
Just remember, you guys are right here.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, so
Inside the main
I'm
hall.
following
Just
you.
kidding. Yeah, that's fine.
Warren
I'll just
is
be sitting
lazy.
on your
He's
shoulder
going to
being like,
stay
"Let's go
in
that
this
way."
room with Burl.
That way.
Brand is just wandering
Let's try
off
spider walking.
without plan. He's just kind of getting distracted easily. So he's distracted in that, like, this is a very distracting place, and he's just walking around by himself.
Well,
Because
I'd,
that's how he does.
I'd probably hop on the dog and just follow after Bran because he's the new guy, and I'd be like,
Okay, and you guys
Like,
are
we're in the castle.
together
I'm
or
fought,
separate?
yes.
Castle.
Well, I am riding on his shoulders, telling him where to go.
All right,
I
guys,
guess
where
I'll
you
follow
go?
you guys.
We have a map.
Do I notice any stairs that lead upwards?
You do.
I'm probably gonna peer at
At
you
least, are you guys
As we
in the
start
main
walking?
hall?
for like 2 minutes.
Are we still in the
I
main
feel very
hall?
bored.
Yes, this big
And then she'll
old.
that's
be
where we
like,
were.
trying to determine what each of these individual lines is.
Those are just roofs.
Okay.
play
It was like an aerial view.
No.
I want to. So Brand's gonna
Not
try
really.
and get height,
Do you play poker?
altitude.
No.
So he's gonna actively seek out. I'm gonna actively
mean-
seek out anything that is
I whittle thing.
It's not too crazy.
stairs.
This building
you
really
need
does have
somebody
stairs
else
that lead
around
up
to play things
to
like
another
I Spy
floor.
and
They're just
Poker.
on each side,
You need cards.
kind of behind the king and
I
queen's
have
thrones.
Okay. Yeah, Brand's
I don't know
gonna.
how to play poker.
Here we go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and walk up.
We're gonna
Does
play
it matter
like
which
a
stairs I
walking
go
game
up?
of poker.
Yeah.
There's left and right one.
Or go fish.
Choose the right way and be
Okay.
happy.
So he's like
You're
trying to
right.
Yes, I do.
hold cards.
Okay.
And look.
Well, it has his boa.
You're going with him?
No, no,
That'd be really funny though if we
He's
run into
finally
something.
He's finally stopped pointing
Okay.
the bow.
As you guys go up these stairs, anyone else want to go up the stairs with them as they try to explore
Us
the
three are
building?
going like the opposite way. I don't know where.
We're going up the right
We should
stairway.
not go the opposite way.
No, you should definitely not do that.
We're going up the right way. The right stairway. Because it's
Okay.
correct.
I think I'm like going upstairs. You want to go upstairs? I guess you have to because you're on my
I
shoulder.
am on your shoulders.
Alright, as you do,
She'll just
pass
be
a
like,
few
"Oh!"
skeletons who were probably people on the stairs. At one
Skeletons are
point.
people too.
At least they were. And
Skeletons were people too.
they're just doing their thing. But you do start to see more, like, you see tapestries, old 100-year-old tapestries covered in dust. They depict different people, different, it's hard to make out, like, exactly who they are, because these are more, like, historical things of people, of battles, of soldiers, much in the medieval style of, like, imposing things two-dimensional backwards. So it's, like, really kind of terrible life, but it still tells the story, and it's all woven by hand.
Can I do a history check to see if I know
Sure.
what they talk about?
Is that what they see or what we see?
That's what you guys see, but on the other side,
We're
if they go up the
following
other
you.
stairs, there's other ones there too.
And we don't see each other. We're not in the same place.
No, we have followed you. Namkia was like, I like going upstairs.
Oh, we all went the same way.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
listens to me.
There's a right staircase and left staircase, so we all went up the right staircase. Okay.
Yes.
Because we're all afraid of splitting the party. I got a
Should be.
14.
Okay. 14. You would understand that these are a bit out of fashion. They're a bit old. Especially some of the depictions, and you would also know that most people depict things in the modern style. So even if they're trying to draw or sew things of like the old times, they often draw armor as more modern armor, and weapons as more modern weapons, even though that's not how things were. And so this has to be been around for a while.
Very long time.
Authentically.
It's not recent, and
Cool.
Take
you
that
know
thing on
that, but
Antiques
you also
Roadshow.
notice a couple
That's what I was
like notable battles and things. You've probably heard of at least one of these. They don't really have too many names that you can really understand because, well, do you know Dwarvish?
Do I know Dwarvish? I think
Gordon
I only know
does.
Gnomish.
I think Warren's the only one who knows Dwarvish.
I know Dwarvish. You'd have to poke me and be like, what does it say?
Yeah, if I see writing and I know it's Dwarvish, I'll poke her and be like, hey, what's that say?
I speak Dwarvish.
Cool.
I don't know that Bren speaks
I
Dwarvish.
picked the
I know
most
that she
boring
does.
languages, and he speaks Common, Dwarvish, Gnomish, and Halfling.
So you can speak my language.
I can speak the languages that everyone in our party already speaks. Yes.
What about
So we
Goliath?
can't secret speak to each other anymore.
No, Brad will know. Whether it's hot.
Bren is
So
the
I
greatest spy.
I have been poked and commanded to read Dwarvish.
You know
What do I
giant?
read?
You read.
Sorry.
Okay.
Right.
One of these is notable. The one that Ku would know anything about was the Battle of Valaberg.
Oh.
And Valaberg used to be a town, and it was destroyed over 100 years ago in a conflict that was the emperor before the current emperor's father. So, two
So
emperors
the
back.
the grandfather of the current.
Emperors who are elected for life. And this town was destroyed between two factions fighting, and it depicts gruesome slaughter of tons of people, actually. Innocents and soldiers, and it depicts how both sides were utterly disgusted at what they had done. After they had done it, because they didn't realize they were gonna do this much murder.
You always go into a war and thinking that you're gonna get like the quota of murder done, and then you go over and you're like, ugh, too much.
Too much murder.
Well, it's more like they thought it was going to be more of a quick sort of summer, only like 100 men on each side die, and that's that. And it turns out thousands of innocent civilians were butchered and towns burned, and it just wasn't what they wanted it to be.
That's not good.
So, DM related question. Does this tapestry appear to, you know how tapestries are woven like chronologically usually? Like,
Yes.
Is it getting, as we go down this hallway, is it getting newer as we go or older as we
But it's
go?
not really a hallway. You're actually going up the stairs, so you're going more modern as you go up. And you
it's
can tell
getting
that
more
because there's
modern.
little dates, and they're kind of weird dates. They have like a number, but it's not like a 1,000 something. It's usually like 13 and 14.
So, Bran is going to continue upward to see, because what he's trying to ascertain is what's the source of what the heck's going on here, So he's hoping that
I think
like
that's
at the
what
end,
we're all thinking.
the end of the tapestry's gotta. It's like the end of the rainbow, you know.
Yes, exactly.
We got this.
That's a
All right,
DM
you
evil.
pass another one. You see, this sort of building of a castle or two. Notable things in like certain people being crowned. Notable events that are like that as you get farther and forward and more forward. Eventually, you kind of get up the stairs, and now you guys see that this does connect to the other staircase. They do kind of branch together like all rich people's staircases do. And kind of form this place where the tapestries kind of meet. And each tapestry, you notice the other side has a different tapestry, and then this one has this one, and then there's sort of this combined, like, large tapestry in the middle. And there's sort of it depicts sort of the king and the queen, and this sort of like, Yeah.
It's from Lord of the Rings.
You should. And then you do notice, though, it seems to depict sort of a royal wedding as well.
I wonder if they're two different chronologies
Two different kingdoms.
coming together for a wedding.
Symbolic. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
We all express our appreciation of the tapestry.
Who just says that like
Very
something
nice.
intelligent, and people are like, "What?
Yeah.
Did
do
that come
see
out of you?"
That this huge tapestry is just above a door. It's an ornate door, but it's not huge. It's just a very nice, ornate door. And then also there's this sort of more interesting balcony and rooms, kind of as well. So but it doesn't really look very visible from below, so you're forgiven for missing it.
So there's okay.
So there's a balcony overlooking the room below us, the one that we came up from.
Yep. This
I want to go
is
through the ornate door.
it's what you might consider a gallery that often like servants or advisors or other people can watch without being
Yes.
a nuisance.
Okay.
She's gonna like tap on your head
And
and be
you
like, "I'm gonna go through
mentioned
the
other
ornate door."
rooms, other perhaps doors, or did I misunderstand?
There are a couple doors and a couple small rooms, but they don't seem to be too interesting. But then there's also the ornate door that's under the.
I'm definitely hitting Nakia's head and saying, "I want to go through the."
We'll proceed.
I wanna go through the door.
ornate door.
Everyone goes to
Ornate
the
door
ornate
is
door. All right.
the one, and I point at
It
the
is
not
in fact
ornate.
locked.
Oh, okay.
The door's locked.
Let me exit. Let me exit.
Little people.
I
It's your
wanna do
turn.
it. I wanna do it. Yeah, I don't want to get off his head. I'll let her do it.
Give me a sleight of hand check with your.
We are all
Our sleight of hand is
soundly
definitely
batted
higher.
aside as this small creature on the back of a dog pushes us out of the way. Like, let me at it!
I feel like we should all be whispering Elvish with this
You'd
music.
think so, but the elves in this one are actually more
Oh,
dramatic.
That's a nat
So they
20.
actually have more of a guttural.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
what? She got
That's a nat 20.
That's 20.
The
Yeah, you
door
get this door.
Like
explodes.
pops
In
open.
fact, the door, you noticed it's old, and some of the kind of metal has just wasn't made perfectly. So you're aware, like, oh, I know this. There's this little malfunction, and you just pop it open, no problem, and the door just unlocks.
Somebody
Slow
forgot to do their
There is slow
updates.
clap.
I'll do a meeting with that.
Software.
I'm impressed.
Turn around and I'll bow and be like, thank you. Thank you.
Brand's clap will gradually slow.
He was just like, "You're learning. Good job."
And then I want to be the first one in the door.
Right.
She
I'll
gets
immediately turn around and push it
She
open.
gets eaten by a carpet.
Oh yeah,
gets eaten by a
checking
carpet.
her up.
I'm pretty sure, judging how all the bed covers and everything in that one house is disintegrated to dust, there's no rugs in here.
Roll rushes in.
I mean, if there were
Unless it's
rugs,
mimic.
it would be. Yeah. There were.
There's
I don't know
Does
what I'm
she
saying.
immediately dash
Ignore
in
tapestries, so.
upon a
Alright,
rug?
You enter what is sort of a kind of suite. There's a couple doors in this room already. It's a pretty decent sized room. There's a large ornate bed, full size 2 people bed. And then there's another door and another door, and there's like some stands and some cabinets, but they're all sort of dust covered, and there is a nice rug, but like it's under the bed, it's under the stuff, it's covering the wooden floor.
So it's pinned in place by the bed. You should be fine.
Is there any valuables that I could look for?
Everything is covered in a lot of dust.
I'd probably move
Dust
over to
never
one of those
stops to me.
cabinets or something and open it up.
You go to one of the cabinets. There's one on the left, one on the right.
I'll take the left one.
Okay.
I'll go right.
While all this has been happening, I have lost 2 rounds of poker to her and probably paid her like 5 gold.
We already established that we were using my gaming set to play poker.
While you guys are just here, okay. That's gonna give you disadvantage on searching, but alright.
No, I think I've stopped after 5 gold, and she's now moving on to be interested in
That's
other
Is that
things.
like canon? Should I put 5 gold?
Yeah, and then
Yep.
lose 5 gold. More.
Yep.
Alright, so what you find is you find some clothes. These ones are much more
On both
sort
sides?
of masculine.
Oh.
They're more like, you know, a tunic. One of them does contain some like socks. You know, they're just normal people clothes,
If I
but
wear those clothes,
they're a
it'll
little
make me more
nice,
than
but
a
they're
man.
not like something you think, yes, all the money, because they're super dusty. And some of them have moths in them that are just like
I would
flying out of the cupboard.
I'd probably pull it out and hold it and be like, "Man, would this fit you?"
I want to see if there are good
Think-
socks in there.
It's
still.
actually too big for Bran.
I'm
Nokia, would it fit you?
Yeah, well, make Brand look
I
more
think
like
if
a
I
man.
put, I think if I put this on, I'll turn into Mothman. So no.
So
Was
Brand,
that
Brand's
on the
gonna
other
nod.
side too? On the other side too, was that like that as well?
Oh, that one's more of a lady's clothes. Dresses and things that are perhaps a bit more fine, but also very moth-eaten, you know.
If Brand wears those, will it make him more of a woman?
I don't know. I don't speak for Bran.
Brand's
man.
gonna nod in respect to all the moths that are flying out.
Moths.
Oh my gosh.
He's found that this is
The
the
moths
key.
do not respect your nod
Ouch.
because they do not understand what a nod means
Oh.
or that nods exist. They are concerned more with, oh no,
E.T..
light and people.
I think this fact
Or maybe
shatters
yes,
Brand
light.
at his core. They're an
Well,
emotion.
they're more like scared of the light. They're drawn out of fear.
Anything else in the room worth noting?
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple things. There's maybe a couple rings. They're all simple things. You know, silver, basic, very simple.
I take the
Yeah.
rings.
You can tell that 2 of these are wedding rings. You can take
They're
them if you
dead.
want.
She needs one for her guilt and shame. Let her do it.
I'm not telling you what you can or can't do. I'm just saying what they are.
Yeah, there's just 3 rings, right? And 2 of them are wedding rings.
Brand will take the third
At
ring.
this point, when you get
The third one is more of a
I'm taking
ornate. There's a little like engraving into it, so it's
So,
probably used with
A
wax.
signet ring.
I'm taking the third ring.
You take this.
That looks
That's
freaking-
fine.
that looks
I'll
freaking cool.
take the wedding rings and take the shame guilt points.
You'll notice
At
that
this-
the signet ring, the implants should make an almost kind of a dragon out of it.
Ooh.
They make a little like sort of dragon
Look at them dragon points.
sort of shape.
What does my signet ring look like?
at this point, when
Yours?
you get your
Yeah.
civic
Well, what
virtue
clan are you
back,
again?
like the
What's
rush
your
of
noble
all
house?
the guilt and shame will just.
What's your
go.
last name?
Heathertail.
You're just gonna die when you
Heather
get it.
Tail. All right.
I mean, we're talking like maybe 50
yours has
years
probably
of
got
shame guilt that is built up.
sort of a
It is a heather flower, but out of each side are big toes.
I disagree with that. However, I do think that sort of a heather
Yeah.
as a flower is not a bad one. But it would also, like, say, kind of, it would be a nice idea to have, like, say, maybe 2 chickens' feet by it instead. So they're like curled up. In like kind of just the toe parts of it as well, just kind of like this, kind of like almost like grasping the heather.
Kind of like the eagle
Because she was sitting
holding
there.
the.
Yeah, it's kind of like the eagles hold those, but this
and,
is just those holding the heather.
Did that.
Interesting.
That was canon.
You know, it's not the most rich or famous symbol ever, but it's a symbol and it does have meanings.
Right.
what they are, well, that's up to how much you studied as a noble child, which is probably not
Probably
much.
not much, yeah. I was gonna say she did
darn.
not.
While the rings are being divvied up, I rolled a 10 for investigation to look if there are any good socks that I can have.
Okay.
Are they
Or
all
has up to
moth-eaten?
our level.
They're mostly all moth-eaten. There's 2 that are not that bad, actually. I mean, sure, there was a moth that was like eyeing them, but no.
Nah. Oh, man.
I have a pair of socks now. They're super dusty, but
When you dust
They're
them
like
off, these socks are kind of long, brown socks. They're made of wool, and they're a bit coarse, which is probably why the moths didn't go for them. But they aren't that uncomfortable, and they seem okay.
Can I see if I know the history of the dragon
They're not
symbol?
as fancy as I was
Roll me a
hoping.
history check.
Okay. That is a 20. I've been rolling hot today.
Not bad. You would know that this symbol comes from the time when a gigantic black monster dragon destroyed an entire mountain.
Oh, I know about that guy.
And you would also know that
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Sorry, no, don't listen to me.
that is the kind of the royal crest of the people who were here.
Okay.
Imagine that. I want to go find the tower.
Wait,
Well,
Josh, you would know that this
feel
is
like
part
there
of the
isn't anything else in this
Part of the
room.
what?
the Swefnavala, actually, or the Svefnavala.
The Svefnavala.
Svefnavala
Svefnavala.
is their family name.
Svefnavala. Yeah.
But this translates in. Well, it's part Elvish, part. Yeah. But basically, you would know that it means the slain host or the slain retinue.
Ooh.
Or because slain also can mean sleep, the sleeping host.
What? Where did he get that word?
I mean, it is both.
You would just
in
know
this
it
case.
because it was a prominent noble family name, and
Oh.
as a cleric,
History
he's
check on
had to
that
learn
scene.
at least some of their names because clerics do a lot of record keeping.
Yeah, that's just what I was wondering where
It's a
the word
common
came.
typo. I'm actually a
where the word
clerk,
was.
not a cleric, but that's okay.
They're
Clerk.
literally the same thing in this world, right?
Yeah, I'm more of a clerk.
I mean, I'm very well versed too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have great intelligence.
So, anything else of note? Like, are there any exits to this room, or just the one we came in?
There, well, I said there's one on the left, one on the right, just 2 doors. These are less ornate as well, but they're nicely made and they don't seem locked.
I'll take the one on the left.
Okay. One of them, the one on the left, as you open it, you do see that this is sort of more of a take care of the daily needs room.
Okay.
So this is for the probably royal family.
Is there a commode?
There's a bucket, right?
There is a chamber pot.
Aha! That was
Because
too old.
I feel like this is something we haven't addressed this whole time, and I feel like I don't know how.
There's
long it's
also
been,
a
but-
small window chute thing that you would put it into, and then it goes into a different hall. So maybe they give it to a servant to dispose of because this is in the middle of their castle.
Bran will slowly close the door because he's feeling nature call.
That's
But
not
I
all the
feel like
rule.
this is literally the scene that happened in the last mansion we have.
Whoa,
Whoa! Nature calls! There's a bathroom.
You do notice though that the whole bucket, there's some screens near it that you can pull so you can give yourself some privacy.
Definitely gonna close the door for this one.
There's also a seat, but there's a bucket, and
Okay.
there's that. There's a small hanger in the other corner of the room because it's a big room, and that one has some clothes that are still hanging on it. Some dresses, and then some shirts, some stuff people would be throwing on and off as they were just kind of having to change.
I'm gonna take the right side, because I can.
Okay.
Because I'm over there anyways.
As you do, you go in there, and it's sort of an old room. It used to looks like there's a study. There's some books, there's like a chair and a desk, but there's also a crib.
A crib?
There's a crib. It's a bit large for a normal crib, but yeah,
There's not a baby.
There's a crib.
There's not a baby in the crib, is there?
there are no babies in this crib.
Okay.
Are there bones of babies?
But
There's no blankets in this crib. This crib is sort of in the corner.
No baby bumps.
But it suggests that there was a child.
Maybe there's
She's
supposed to
Or
be a
going to
child.
be a child.
Or going to be a child. There was a child in the mix somewhere. I want to look through the books and see if there's anything valuable.
All right. So I'm just rolling because I like to. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
He's just like the rest of us. The DM is just like the rest of us. We all dink around with our dice.
18.
Well,
No judgment.
you notice a few titles. Some you've seen a lot of them. They're just words, whatever seems like the book's about. Because books kind of not something you have competition in naming, especially old books.
Okay, fair, but my intelligence is 4.
Yep. Really? It's 4?
My modifier's 4, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Her wisdom sucks, but she's very intelligent.
You know one it says be like a book that says prophecies, but it's not just prophecies, it's literally talking about like the prophecies. And then it's also the next book that's of note is of Kings. It's just a book of it says of Kings.
Did I
Of
see what I
Kings.
think I just saw?
And the next one is the next one is more of just simple stuff, but it does say, just of tales.
Of tales.
It's literally just fairy tales, is what it would say, but they wouldn't call them fairy tales.
Could I take the book of fairy tales and prophecies with me?
Those are two different books, and you could try to take them.
How big are they?
The Book of Prophecies is pretty thick.
Okay.
It's a solid tome. The Book of Fairy Tales is smaller and more manageable. The Book of Kings is absurdly big, and it's actually part of like a series. There's like 3.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I don't care about no kings. I probably should, but I don't care about no kings.
Earl will be interested in that book of prophecy. She's gonna.
All right, you can take those 2 books. The Book of Prophecies weighs about 5 pounds, and then the Book of Fairy Tales weighs just about a pound.
I'm gonna read those at some point.
Sure.
But
Okay.
if we're waiting for Bran to get out of the commode, I'll start reading them. But if not, I will go to the tower.
Bran, are you taking a long dump or a
Wait a
short dump?
minute.
All right. So you guys can go explore. What are you going to explore?
I want to go to the tower.
The huge tower.
Yes.
Okay. You guys are headed there.
Okay,
Let me see.
wait.
How much time has
That is
passed?
Koo's
What,
Okay.
vote for the group.
Cool.
what if we went back down the other staircase to see what that tapestry says?
I mean, I assume that we have to go down the staircase to get to the tower.
If so, that's a good idea.
You guys want to do that?
Yes.
All right, everyone, but Bran goes down the stairs to the.
Beyond a minute.
Bran, hurry
This time on
up.
the right side or
We're
the
leaving.
left originally.
The one we didn't go down.
Yeah, the other one. And as you go down, you see there's a different story. It's a bit interesting, and some of the events are the same events, but they often have the sides flipped. So you remember you see like the Valaberg, or you remember the slaughter of Valaberg is in its similar place, only the sides are reversed, and it's still gruesome every time you pass by.
Cool.
So I assume that the 2 people who got married are the 2 sides of this big, horrible slaughter, which is a really kind of a happy ending, except for the thorn wall and the bones.
Capulets and Montagues.
Mm-hmm.
Both are like
Two houses, both
dignity.
alike in dignity.
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, these are the wrong box.
Anyway, so you guys go down the stairs. Anything you want to check out? Like, you really investigating this one, or you just heading to the tower? 'Cause,
I will roll a perception check because I'm idly reading Dwarven script as I go.
that's fair.
So that one is just an 8.
I'm playing I Spy with Nokia.
Okay. You would see, nothing too crazy, but you would notice, there's
I'm also hanging off of your
nothing
back.
really new, and it's kind of frustrating because you're kind of hoping they were more different.
So
Yeah,
like,
but
all
that's
the
alright.
blood is rushing to my head right
Hey
now.
guys, I spy with, because I've been listening to you guys play. I spy with my little eye something red, and we're like walking past a tapestry that's just coated with blood.
That's probably what I've been doing the whole time.
She's probably gonna point. She's hanging off of his back, so her the blood is rushing to her head right now. But she's definitely gonna point to it. Be like, "Is that one?"
It's all of them. This is the horrible
There's
slaughter.
only 3. You can't be wrong. And there's only one in this stairwell too. So as you go down it, you kind of go back down the main hall, and you do notice that there were a lot of skeletons around, as if there was some meeting in attendance when everyone was there, and now they're bones. But it doesn't look like, still no violence, still nothing crazy. And you just go by.
Wait,
Wait,
we've
say that
reached
one
the
more
bottom
time.
of the stairs and we're in a
Back
room.
the stairs, you're back in the main kind of throne room, the kind of grand hall where the king and queen are sitting on their thrones, or at least their bones are. And there's still all the people that were in attendance, or at least the bones are. You guys just go out of the building and kind of, because the great tower seems to not connect directly to this one.
I still want to if we're gonna walk past them, I want to try and take the crown off the queen's head.
Okay. You gonna make a sleight of hand check?
Yes.
All right.
16.
The queen's alive.
That means everyone with 16 or higher can notice her trying to take
Just
it.
no one, because I'm the highest.
Nope.
All right, but she didn't hide, so I mean, she's not really hiding it, is she?
No.
I think the only one that minds is Bran. Warren has taken things from people who aren't
Bran is
using
not
them
present.
anymore.
Okay.
Bran
You,
is
Oh yeah, you're still.
You take the crown,
Oh no.
and you hold the crown. Which one did you take, the king's or the queen's?
The queen's.
Okay.
Because it was smaller.
The queen's smaller, and hers has more inlaid silver as well. The king's is mostly in sort of the old-fashioned, very jeweled, and there's lots of little gold symbols, but the queen's is much simpler, but much more elegant, I guess you could say. So you take that one. What you gonna do with it? Just pocket it?
Yeah.
Put it in your pack?
I was gonna wear it, but then I was like, Bran might see it.
It would also have a strong King Richard from the Robin Hood cartoon, where we just go down like this. 'Cause
It's true.
She's
She's
smaller, but not
definitely
that
too large for a gnome.
By the way, it's not just Bran that's missing, it's Bran and Clarence.
Oh.
what?
It's what?
Clarence is the bird name
You
that
named
I've
your
named.
bird.
Oh, you've named the bird.
Oh, okay.
It's not my bird.
I guess we are going to pause here in the room and wait for Bran and poor Clarence. He's been trapped in there with him the whole cooking session.
Clarence just sticks its beak out.
It's a
the side of
real,
the
it's a
back.
real bonding moment.
There's just like the
So-
little beak just goes out the edge, and it's just like
I'm not saying you can't have Clarence. It's just,
So is it a queen's crown or is it a circlet?
it's almost a crown.
Okay.
It's a very nice circlet.
okay, I think at this point Bran's probably finished.
Finally.
Yeah. All right, so Bran comes down and joins you guys as you go out the building.
I can say that. I'm just kidding. I will.
You can do that if you want.
No, I'm definitely coming and joining everybody. I'm
As
not
he
split-
comes down, the bag on his shoulder has the bird head poking out with eyes.
Bran
and
is
it's
not
like,
one to
I have
split the
seen
party."
things.
That's his usual look anyway. So
It's hard to tell with the bird. So you guys go out and you go into the large tower. You also note that it's kind of been a few hours. You've been exploring and talking about
Many things.
things and trying to figure out what they mean
For
and
not
visit the restroom and
dice
read
into
books. So you guys have been around for a bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes.
So it's been about 2
For however
hours
long it
into the
lasts.
day.
Thanks.
You know, day's starting to get up. It's be a full day. You guys go into the large tower, and it's huge. It's circular, and you kind of have to go out into the field, kind of and cross this sort of kind of weedy courtyard in order to get into it. But you do. There's a very barred, heavy. It's large, but it's very like practical this is supposed to prevent siege from breaking into it kind of door, but it's not locked. Guys want to go in?
Go through it.
We'll go through it.
Can I recommend we at least explore one other building before we go into what is probably the
boss
building
fight?
that has like the worst things in it, because this is a Sleeping Beauty story and this is the tower.
I want Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
It's a great play.
It's an old story that I was told as a child. It was before your time.
And then
All
feel
the
like it's not
90s
before my
kids
time.
remember. Oh yeah, you're right.
Brand's like, ooh, beauty, and he like opens the door
Yeah, I would
to the
just
tower.
warn to be here, be like, you guys, we shouldn't do this, and everybody just starts walking in. He's like, guys, like,
And as always, I am forced to follow because I don't like being left behind either. I don't feel safe alone. So I guess in we go.
yep.
Just knock here. If there's one other holdout, I'll wait.
I'm not holding out.
So
Okay.
what you see is a large kind of cylinder-like room that you're in. The roof above is wood, but it's pretty high up. It's like 30 feet up. Along the walls, there's like inset doors, kind of around the circle, and going under these large stone stairs that go up the side that had wooden balustrades, like wooden supports, but those wood is a bit rotten and old.
Yay.
Stairs we go.
I want to look through like the first door first and see if.
Where I am the smallest and the lightest,
There
I
are
think.
5 doors that aren't the one you came in from, so there's
You should go
6
first.
total.
Yeah.
So they go left all the way around, perfect circle.
And they're all on ground level.
Yeah, this ground level that you're on, there's a couple boxes. There's a couple skeletons. A couple of them have like kind of almost like halberds or poleaxes with them that are just old and rusted and laying on the ground or hanging against walls.
I think Bro goes first. That's a good idea, Bro.
I was gonna say, I'm the smallest and the lightest, so I'm gonna have the least risk of breaking any of these.
I'm
worn
gonna
wooden-
convince Nakia to go through the first door on the left while she's going up the stairs.
Are the doors going like up with the stairs? Is that what it was, or is it? Are they on just the ground?
No, the ground floor has 5, and then there are doors as the stairs go up.
Okay.
But they're less like they're smaller doors as well, and there's a few, and then it goes up and it hits the wooden roof, and the stairs just go up into that.
I'm going through the left door.
All
The
right.
first door on the left. I'm
Well,
opening
you pop it open, and what you find?
is a dead person.
Yeah, actually, there's a pile of bones against a couple boxes. There's actually what might have been food stores, and most importantly, some more like urns or barrels as well. So someone at one point might have been drinking here.
Hey, cool.
But there's a lot of dust, and there's maybe the outline of a stain, but it's hard to make out under all the dust.
Hey, cool. I see dead people.
Hey, you should like kick open all the doors. Like you're police.
Don't
Please.
do that. Don't do that.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Ooh, I
Do
think
it,
I
do
might
it.
do that.
I have
Do
the
it,
higher
do it,
intelligence
do it, do it.
score. I mean
No,
the wisdom
no, you-
score.
Yeah, she has
Right.
to do it.
We're the
Do it.
opposite.
Everyone
do it,
has
do it.
everyone has higher wisdom than I do,
Don't
You
do
should
it.
do
and
it.
intelligence.
I mean, we have
Anyway.
to see what's in all of these doors anyway, and if you kick them
I
down,
think-
we get it super fast.
Although I
Look at
think
them.
Brandon's
I'm
forging
convinced.
ahead up the stairs.
All right, you can do that.
Onward and upward.
No, Brad.
He's
hold
gonna
on.
kick open all the
Onward and
doors.
upward.
All right, the first door.
Is it locked?
It's not locked. You can just kick this one open. It flings in. The door actually just falls in when you kick it. There's a ton of dust, by the way, and
So you need to roll a
you
saving check.
definitely sneeze a bit.
So much coughing.
Oh, it's gross. But, this one has some beds. There's actually multiple bunks. And it's a little constricted and congested, but this is a bunch of what were beds at one point. Some of them, of course, have rotted through and fallen into the floor, and they're dust piles now, but there used to be some wooden beds with like maybe a chest or two, and those chests are all rotted, and they still work though, sort of.
Oh, I kind of want to see what's in the chest.
They work as beds? Wait.
The chest's like still like
Oh,
open and closed.
okay.
They're just gross. Like leave a black mark on your hands when you touch them.
I'm used to that.
They're more dust than wood now. But yeah,
Kick up the chest!
they, you guys can open them, and there's not a lot in them. There's occasionally a couple kind of old, grungy, kind of dust-covered coins. They're all coppers, and they don't even sparkle because they're covered in dust and they're so thin.
I want it.
Okay, there's about 7 if you want to take them.
If they're so thin, she should pick it up and then they disintegrate.
I'm counting it.
She bites in them to test it, and she bites right through them.
You only bite gold.
Okay, that's
Next door.
Are you gonna kick it?
Is it unlocked?
This one's locked.
Well, I'm gonna kick it very hard.
All right, roll for damage.
Oh, I am naming
Damage
this tower.
to his foot or damage to the door?
Well, if it was damage to his foot, I'd be rolling.
By the way, I'm naming this tower the Tower of Very Little Value. That's the name.
I haven't even explored the whole
That's
thing
a
yet.
3.
I'm
Yeah, 3
predicting
plus
very little
3 well, I don't think I'm proficient. So 3 damage.
3 damage to the door.
All right, the door kind of shudders, but the lock holds, and the door kind of buckles a bit. The wood itself kind of broke a bit, but it's still in position. The
How
metal's still good.
embarrassing.
Darn.
Go for the next one. I'll unlock this one.
Okay.
I'm not. That's a nat 20. on the
just open
lock.
up the
She
door.
goes up
You
and
know
goes.
that these are simple old locks, and they're just supposed to keep people out, you know?
Yeah.
So most people aren't smart enough to know this or know about locks, but you know literally any key works or any lockpick. You just have to have something that has just that you can stick in and push up with. And yeah, you have that.
I'm out.
So you just pop that door right open, and it's just like, haha, easy.
Yeah.
The door kind of swings in, although, like, the way the door, it's actually kind of a bit bent now, but yeah, the door goes in. There's more bunks here. This one, though, does have a corpse or two, or at least bones of where people had been laying. And there is an old sword next to one of them. This is just in its sheath, hanging from the bed. But it had been. The leather has been kind of rotted away, at least where it was holding. So now the sword's on the ground and the straps are broken.
Oh, poor sword. Hey, Nakia, do you need a sword?
No.
Oh, okay. It's too big for me.
Sword.
I assume it's too big for me.
No, it's just a regular short sword, so it'd be a normal sword for you.
I think I already have a sword.
Yeah, this is probably old and not high quality anyway.
Yeah,
But you know,
next
there's another
door.
chest with maybe like 2 coins in it.
I take the coins.
Okay.
Are they
Sure,
copper? I assume.
They're still the same copper.
Cool.
All right, next door.
I'm gonna
I'm
kick
just
it.
going through these doors as fast as I can.
Yep,
If you don't know.
Kick
that's what we're going for.
All right, this one's more barracks. I assume you're gonna search.
Yeah.
There's no corpses, no skeletons in this one. There are no weapons, but there is about 14 copper, but they're not in a chest. They're scattered about the room, just lost in nooks and crannies.
She's speed grabbing them. They might be. They might
No
be
one else
valuable
is grabbing
because
them.
they might be
All right,
valuable
last,
because they are
She's
so
over
old.
encumbered with all.
These are
weight
ancient.
that
She's not, unfortunately.
I mean, she's got 1,000 gold. She's got.
No,
a
I
couple of
don't.
books.
I do not have 1,000. Oh, I do have 1,000
She
gold.
does, but remember the gold's in bars, so they're not actually 1,000 gold coins. They're in 1,000 gold like chunks, and they get exchanged. So you would exchange a piece of these chunks that are 100 each, that are much lighter, but they're also harder to come by. So that's kind of like that's how they like. This is your 100 nugget instead of a coin, and so you have a bunch of like big ornate exchange coins. Is basically what they are.
Aha.
They're not peasant coins, and people would murder you if they found out. The next room, I assume you guys are going to search. It is locked.
Are you gonna
Kick
knock
it.
it down?
He's trying to become Grog. Roll understandable. Roll damage.
You told me to kick all the doors.
I did tell him to kick all the doors.
2.
And I'm having so much fun
The
with
door
it.
repels your puny efforts. This door has
How
stood
embarrassing.
strong.
I'm gonna unlock it.
Meanwhile, Brad is
Roll
just
for a
standing there
sleight of
watching Nokia kick doors.
No, I'm
That's-
walking up the stairs.
I thought I was the one going up the stairs.
That's a 10.
I told
That's
I
not
told
good
you,
enough.
I'm
This
walking
door
upstairs, too.
remains locked.
Burl!
Okay, next door.
Burl!
There's
Yeah.
no other door on this floor.
Burl!
What?
Try this door.
I'm already halfway up the stairs.
No, I want to look at what this door contains.
Well, then you
also,
open
you
it.
need to be more... Can I try again?
Bren's like, I will look at this door.
Honestly,
Comes out
you
and
give it
looks
your
at the
best
door.
shot, but you can't get this door. This one's made of a finer lock. It's much heavier, and the door's reinforced with iron, so it doesn't seem like kicking it's
Bren
gonna
is
work.
staring so intently at this door. Like, staring at it.
Which door?
We
really.
were like all the
door
way at
that
the
she
top
said
of the
to come
stairs.
look
We came
at.
all the way back
Okay,
down.
you came back down.
Yeah, he ran down the stairs and he's like, done. And he's looking at the door.
Okay.
Can you unlock it, Brad?
I'm going to use Sacred Flame on it. Yes, I can.
All right.
Magic cantrip.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Let me see. Sacred Flame.
It's a 16 dexterity saving throw.
Well, the door automatically failed, like all inanimate objects do to dex saving throws.
I wasn't sure what kind of door we're dealing with, okay?
It might be a mimic.
Yeah. And it's 2d8 damage of radiant damage.
Oh, well, unfortunate for you.
Oh no.
Unfortunate for me. Why?
It's not weak to radiant. It's resistant to radiant damage. Because it's a door.
Well,
It's not
it
evil.
would be 12 radiant damage.
It is reinforced iron and steel door, so the door,
The
like,
sun shining at it really hard doesn't work.
no, you soot part of the door. There's like a little like blackening of stuff as it goes by.
Does it at least heat up where it's like a car door in the sun that as you touch it, it's like, whoa, wow.
That's not how Sacred Flame works, but yeah. So you kind of scorch the door a little bit.
There you go. Gotcha for you.
I'm pretty sure it's not open, Bran.
Right.
Sometimes.
Remember,
some
you're not
doors
dealing
don't
fire
open.
damage, you're dealing radiant, which is
Lauren.
literally light.
Warren, you try it.
Burl!
And plants have always
I
been
know.
good against light damage.
What?
I knock.
Knocks on the door.
It's not
All
open.
of us at the door and we're like, Burl! Burl!
I'm wandering away.
Door up here. Everybody's had their own chance kicking down doors. Do something.
I'm old. I don't want to kick it down.
It'd be cool if
What's
I
wrong?
could.
Lock picking it.
Iron, good luck.
I can't lock pick.
It'd be cool if I could misty step into
What
the
even
room,
does
but I have
that?
to see into the room to do that.
Rude.
No, I want to stand at the top of these stairs.
Well, then you're then pissed. Do you want to go down and do the door? Or do you want to go up to the top of the
I want
stairs?
to go up to the top of the stairs. I'll go down and do the door.
I'll go upstairs.
I'm gonna
Okay.
start
No, you
wandering
say
towards
what?
the
These
stairs.
stairs are old and wooden.
Wait. Okay,
Rough.
can I cast guidance on Ku so she gets another shot at it?
Sure.
Alright, I'm gonna cast guidance on Ku.
Cool. Q, roll with
It's gonna be the single most boring room of them all.
Sleight of hand, right?
Hmm?
6. I think that's 18.
Okay, yeah, that does
Yep,
it.
18.
You managed to finally get the door to lockpick.
Roll
Something
the 6.
in your mind, you hear this whisper of just like, of directions. You just feel like, yes, I'll go this way. And then you decide, you know what, all my experience is telling me I'll go this way with the lockpick, but instead you do something stupid that shouldn't work. And it does manage to slightly click open, and you're like, but how? It's weird. It doesn't really make sense to you. But you did it, and the door is unlocked.
Through my guidance, I'll have you know. I guided you through that.
Do you actually say that?
My guidance is gonna be, because it's basically like, when he casts guidance, it's like backseat driving the whole time. So he like, it requires physical touch.
thing.
So he'll like touch you, and then he'll be like, you know, you really should like move it up a little bit, and then move it down a little bit, and then I really think that this is how you do it. And that's how he gives guidance.
Most aggravating character. I love it.
You also have these really like odd inhuman whispers that come with it that none of you can really hear, but you think them. They exist in your mind when you cast guidance.
Anyway, what's in this room?
Okay, well you slide the door open. There are stairs. This door leads to a staircase that kind of curves down.
Hey, Naki, you want to go downstairs with me?
Okay.
No, one stairs at a time, you guys. These stairs
I'm
have
gonna
been
go
in the
downstairs.
queue
Okay.
first.
Okay, and then I walk down one stair. And then I walk down one stair. And then I walk down one stair.
Brent's like,
I'm gonna follow the game.
Brent's like, look, and then he like stares.
Right. Now let's do Burl's thing. Burl, what are you doing?
Just please, finish going up the top here and see what's at the top.
Do it.
Right. Well, you walk up these stairs and you go to where the next roof is, right? And you kind of pass up, and you notice that the wood changes. Well, the stairs change from wood to stone as they keep going up because this staircase does continue on upwards to another floor, and there's another wood ceiling. But there's also 5 more doors around this room, and it's kind of another large room like the one below.
Ooh, fancy. Alright, we'll start with the first door.
Oh boy.
Alright, that door is open. It's
As we're,
more
like,
barracks
going
quarters.
down
This one has 3 different skeletons in it. They seem to have been around at a small table. And there's a whole bunch of dust and on the table. And
Is there anything else on the table that indicates what they were doing?
there's some old, beaten up kind of. It looks like some dice, maybe. Just some super old dust-covered dice.
I have dice proficiency. I want to take them.
All right, they're made of bone, and they have little carved symbols.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bone dice?
I'll take the bone dice.
Oh yeah, it's classic old dice in this land.
I want some bone
Like in
dice.
real life, they're all made from muscle bones from different animals. And so these ones, I mean, it's hard to identify unless you know, but that's what they come from. Yeah.
I know about that.
Yep.
Knuckle
My
bones.
proficiency's in cards.
Alright, we'll go to the second door.
All right. You do. This one's, more barracks. You seem to be catching a theme. There's only one. Well,
Knuckle dice.
there's 2 sets of bones, but only on further inspection. It looks like they were very close when they became dead. And
I will slowly close that door and be like, sorry, I didn't know you guys were, I'll just leave you be.
the bones do not answer.
The bones tell me nothing.
Alright, we'll go to the next door. And hopefully nobody's in.
And then there's
Doing
movies
anything
like
fancy
gold.
there.
Nice skeletons.
All right, next
We
door,
throw the skeletons.
just more barracks. There's about 14 copper in there, but it's in a small sort of pouch. It's not really a pouch anymore, but it used to
It
be.
used to be.
It's sort of the vague dust of a pouch.
Copper is boring, I'd rather get gold. We'll go to the fourth one. I'm assuming.
Nobles are so uppity.
But
They
time
won't steal
efficient.
spoons.
This is so much more time efficient. This
I
is
mean,
great.
100 copper is 1 gold.
Next one's
Yeah.
more barracks. This one has
I'm from a poor family.
nobody in it, and it does have one of those kind of large pole axes hanging against one of the beds.
I'm not gonna do anything with an axe.
That's a pole axe, so it's really long too.
Yeah, there's nothing I have no way I'm gonna be able with that. We'll go to the last one.
All right, this last one, yeah, it's locked.
Yes.
It stairs going down toward the floor that we were just
Sleight of
on.
hand that one
Maybe?
for a. I believe that's a 14.
Well, that's not good enough. This door resists your attempts. This kind of lock, you're aware that these are not locks you're supposed to be able to pick. They're expensive. And they seem kind of similar to the one that you were yelling about downstairs, something hard. So as you try to pick it, you're just like, I don't get it.
Be like,
Because these
"Yeah."
kind of locks are more like, you've probably seen they're like before, they're almost like multiple locks in a row. And so it's like, I mean, your tools aren't great for it anyway, but like, it could be anything for the combo. It could be 360 directions of lock picking. Like, it's a mess.
I'll be like, Q, there's treasure up here and I can't get to it. I need your help.
I mean, the key for this could have like
Big
things
shiny.
in any
And
direction.
bronze, lots of bronze.
Warren has been standing on the landing nervously watching her go up alone. Are you guys gonna run back up or continue slowly crawling
I'm
down?
going down.
Bran, this hasn't come out yet, but Bran's afraid of the dark.
Oh. Is he on the landing
It's very
too?
dark.
Yes.
down
Oh,
there.
Staring
I'm using
worriedly
my-
at the downstairs?
Oh yeah.
No.
It's
I'm using
dark
my
with
staff.
light.
His mag light.
Your light is good, but you know there's no light source down there.
Bran's gonna take a look at Clarence. They exchange a nod, and he's gonna go upstairs.
Well, hold on. The bird will decide what the bird does. The bird gives you a neutral look of like, what do?
I don't think the bird wants to go deeper. We're gonna go upstairs.
We must go
The
deeper.
bird respects this.
Bran doesn't know
Beaver
that
was on the
yet.
last campaign.
It's a learning thing for him.
How about you?
You guys head up then?
I will go
You're
up.
going up.
Warren-
You
Warren
meet
can
up
do
with
it.
Burl as she's finished looting things and
What's Warren doing?
I just took
If
Are you
you
just
guys
still
are going
standing
up-
there?
If you guys are going up, I'll go up.
Be like,
I'm
hey,
going down.
Bran, I need some help with this lock.
Me and Nakia are playing the slow one step at a time game. He started it and then he was like, "This is a fun game," and started going like he
it's
was.
taken a while to get through all these
You were
doors
yelled for
in
treasure?
time. So yeah, you can see through like some of the occasional windows. They're more like arrow slits in the walls and stuff. You know, where if you were defending the castle, you'd shoot an arrow out or throw something uncomfortable at somebody. And it's starting to get towards midday. Sun's up. It's very bright.
Sun's out, guns out.
Okay.
Hey,
Coup is not coming up.
It's okay, Bran's up here.
So Bran, gonna kind of poke his head in the rooms that she's already opened up and sees the pole axe. Can I take the pole axe?
You can definitely take the poleaxe.
Okay.
Yeah, just add a poleaxe to your inventory. It counts as a halberd in the game
Bran
rules.
stealing something?
No, I mean he's just gonna,
I'll put it back.
Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna exchange it for my current weapon.
What's your current weapon?
Equivalent exchange.
I feel like I've been a very bad influence on you, Nakia, and I love it.
Let's see. I have a mace.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Curiosity
So it's
killed
kind
the
of,
cat, but I'm all about curiosity.
Okay, so I'm gonna replace
Have
the
you ever
mace.
seen
And
a
I'm gonna take the
playthrough of
poleaxe.
Outlast 2?
Okay, you take the poleaxe. Remember, this halberd is
There's a really unpleasant part of
it's
the game where you are
it's
being chased by
versatile,
a
so you
midget
can one hand or
that's
two
riding
handed,
on a larger
and it gets
person who
reach
never
into
speaks,
him.
and I feel like that's slowly turning into you guys.
Bran does wield a
The
shield,
little
so he'll
tiny
probably
guy
be able to get
who was
one
being
hit,
carried by the
Yeah.
big guy. makes
So
all the
treat it like a
decisions.
spear then.
The giant
Makes
does
a
the
lot of-
ferrying
Basically, it's
and the attacking.
Guys,
Okay.
what
it's
if-
an awkward spear,
Okay,
what if we
good to know.
had it?
but it also has the ability to slash. With
I love it.
So you can make a slash or a pierce attack,
This is a great
Cool.
idea.
but you have to say it before you make the attack.
That is
Okay.
10 feet tall.
So you've got that now. So now after you finish doing the loot, you guys are heading up more, or are you guys going down?
We're definitely going down very slowly.
Right, so these guys you're going up again, or are you
No,
going
I
back
was,
down?
telling Bran I needed help with this lock.
Oh, okay.
Brand's not gonna do.
You guys go to the lock. And what are you gonna do with the lock?
Well, I tried to pick it, so be like, Bran, can you help me out with this?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. That's gonna be a thing. No, yeah, he's okay. So he's still strapping the pole axe onto his back as he walks out, and then kind of turns and goes over and is like, puts his hand on her shoulder. Is like, okay, so what you want to do here is, and cast guidance, but what you want to do here is, you get your little pick thingy, you get in there and you jiggle it around a little bit. Make sure you jiggle it around a lot so that you get the right things going. You're gonna do a little twisting. Trust me, I'm an expert at this by now, so it's gonna
But
vary.
you have to say it in your mumbly way.
Yeah, so you want to get the pick and put it in the little door, and you're gonna move it around a little bit, and you want to
Just roll.
you want to twist it.
Is it a D4
D4.
plus
Yeah.
my 20, or just
D20 plus a 1d4.
Make sure you utilize leverage.
Yes.
Leverage needs to be utilized.
and 2 and...
I think that might be Bran's voice from now on forever.
No! Hold on.
We'll just be a little mousy mumbler.
Something happened with
Mumbly
my
mousy.
dice.
A little tiny version of Bob
that
Ross.
sucks.
nasal.
Yeah, just a little bit.
No!
Is that your glass dice?
No, the
Ultimate
gem
curse.
dice. The gem cut ones.
That is an Ursa
That's pretty close to glass.
Note to self, don't take gem dice and roll them together.
cursed dice. Oh my goodness.
They are the same hardness. They would do that.
Yeah.
That's it. It was a 2 and a 15, and plus my sleight of hand, which is like 5, so that's like 22, I think.
Oh, that sucks.
He just switched music.
To commemorate the sadness of this occasion.
Yes.
The death of a die.
Oh, by the way, are you proficient with martial weapons?
Am I proficient with martial weapons? Good question.
Because if you're not, then the
It would
flex might be a
suck.
bad idea. I don't know if
Let
you're
me see.
learning.
Let me see.
Also, Josh, if you don't like using that online version, you can print a.
Nope. Simple weapons only.
Yep, so you do not get your proficiency bonus with that.
Is anyone gonna convince me to put it back?
I will
All of a sudden, everyone's like, "Yes."
convince you. Like, that
Fine.
I'm not gonna get upset about metagaming for just don't use what you can't use.
Brown's gonna go put it back. Get his mace back.
Yeah, Josh.
feels
Not as
listened
cool.
to for once.
Well, I don't think it was Warren. It was Burl because Warren's not here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You'd be like, what are you doing with that giant
He's like
thing?
struggling really hard to buckle it on, like to his like waist because it's really long. So he just keeps dragging because he usually keeps his mace like at his waist. But
You'd be like, what are you doing with that?
I thought it would look cool, you know. I just wanted to put it on and make it look cool, and you know, want to be a cool kid.
Oh, it doesn't, I'm sorry.
Want to be a cool kid.
Mace, the technique with the mace is usually smack. The technique with the halberd is pokey, slashy, occasional pulls and weird things.
Sometimes blocking.
It takes higher levels of skill to use a
things.
halberd.
No.
You know?
Brandon's learned not to
Love
reach
it.
beyond his station.
He's learned an important lesson.
Yeah, he must stay within his box.
The bird glances neutrally at you, of just like, know your place.
Yeah.
What's the
Thanks
highest
for reminding me,
power that you
Bird.
need?
I'm not worthy.
Oh, sure, I didn't remember that.
I'm not worthy.
so.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'm just rolling to see if I got a nat 20.
Well, yours are all
like
the
small
same
person.
dice.
Yeah.
That's easier
You know.
to stack.
But they're also very
Don't
tiny.
forget it.
That doesn't matter.
Don't forget.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's Miss Small Tiny Person to you.
If they're all the same.
Alright. Is everyone ready?
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm good. I think I'm gonna switch to my heavy dice.
Make them if they're all
Since I broke my
fools.
freaking ones.
Well, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
We'll find a way.
More in the loss of my heavy dice.
Right.
Did she open the door with that roll? That's what we were in the middle of doing. It was a 22.
It was like something big and fancy, yeah.
It was a 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
see,
music starts again.
see, that's the right technique. Good
Okay,
job.
yeah,
Good job.
I will. No,
His voice actually starts to fade as he's guiding you. He talks just fine. But in your mind, you start to hear, instead of everything else, you start to hear left, right, to the side, down, up and around. You know, just like, but in like really soft, like, just mental thoughts almost.
So basically,
And,
the spell works in spite of him. Is
Yeah.
what you're trying to suggest? That's awesome.
Well, when you cast guidance, it's not your guidance. You're channeling something else's guidance.
And I don't really know.
And he
what
doesn't even know who he
is,
worships.
so-
Because he literally chose not to, and I told him, I'm like, if you don't, I'll pick.
It's a happy little deity. Happy little deity right
Anyway,
now.
so you managed to unlock this door.
Yeah.
But you have no idea how you did it.
Okay, well, that was interesting.
That's a nice smiley door.
I'll push
You
it
need
up.
another one, because every door needs a
I'm
friend.
channeling my Bob Ross here.
Alright, so you push this door open. This door kind of leads into this sort of hall, and kind of hits the edge of the tower. You can see there's an arrow slit. There's sort of a cabinet that used to be full of arrows. There's also a hall that kind of goes on the left and east. It's left and right. That kind of seems to go around the castle a bit.
Right, so okay. It looks like this is for defense and the archers. Okay, well, there's nothing really fancy up here then. I guess I'll head back down and find out where the others went.
They have gone down about 18 steps now.
We're probably already down there by now.
So is there another stairway up from here?
Yeah. There's another roof above, just like there was one below. So they're going down the steps into the unknown darkness
Yes.
beneath.
I've
Bro.
lit
We've
my
just been like
staff.
staring at Warren the whole time, like,
I'm staring up at like,
eh,
guys, stop. Can we?
eh?
Alright. You guys go down and you begin to descend. This curves. It's kind of like a weird opposite version of the stairs above. It's not really a continuation, but it's like it's almost a continuation of the stairs from above. And you keep going down, and it hits about another floor. There's stone, and then there's 6 different doors on this floor level, and the stairs also continue to go down.
This is a great dungeon, guys. Open the doors.
Okay. I'm opening the doors
Okay.
All of them.
at the same time.
He opens.
We're so dead.
What?
Waiting
In
for
there.
you to tell us how we
Fingernails.
die.
Wait, was I to roll? I'm confused now.
You're gonna roll damage to the door because you're gonna kick it?
No, he's
I'm not
opening
kicking it.
them.
I'm just
Oh,
normally.
you're just opening it? Just open the
Because I was
door.
only told to kick down the ones up.
This door is sort of storage inside this room. I'm just to say there's a bunch of like super old boxes that have all collapsed inward and rotted, and it's just sludge, dust and sludge. Maybe it was vegetables. Who knows?
Oh, I wanted those.
Next door.
You're 100 years too late.
And all of a sudden, there's a whisper in Burl's ear that says, "You should taste it."
Wait, are you down here already?
Koo's ear. No, just.
Now you can't correct any of us
Unfortunately,
when we
that's
get it
not
wrong.
canon.
Aww.
It was a 19.
I thought you gave it a chance, yeah.
You know, I just wanted to see what would happen if it was.
Oh my
What
goodness.
happened if I do?
This lunch
So-
is looking very appetizing.
Did you
That's
say-
the first door on your your left.
So did you say that there were 2 doors and then more stairs down?
There are 5 doors that you haven't been into, and the stairs still go down.
Okay. Open up the next one.
All right, this is more barracks. There's 6 different skeletons, and the bunks are a little better preserved, so they're all sleeping, just in the regular positions. One of the beds has sagged through though, so the skeleton's with it, and you can kind of see them through it. It's
That was
kinda
probably a
awkward.
fat skeleton.
It's probably fat, yeah.
Well, you could roll
Perception check.
History check.
not history. It would be a survival check, I think.
Okay.
It's not gonna be me.
Survival. 12.
Well, knowledge of human bones counts as survival, I assume. 12. You're not really sure. You can't really tell if they were fat or not.
It was a fat one. He was fat.
Next door. Wait, unless there's coins and everything. I'm definitely like searching every room for coins.
You get 6 copper.
Yes.
Every door needs a friend.
Okay.
Every friend needs a door.
Every friend needs a door.
Okay, the next one. Open.
Interesting. All right. So next door, this is more barracks. There's nobody in it. There's no coins.
Cool.
It's a boring room. Next door, you do open this one. This is more storage though. This one has a bunch of like little rats and things in it that just like scurry out.
So there is something living in here.
But they're a little weird. You can't put your finger on it, but they're gone before you can think about it.
They don't have any fingers.
Too bad I can't do an investigation check.
Well,
Do a history check to check your memory for that split second.
I don't think that's how that roll works. But if you were to roll, it's hard to know like animal anatomy. But
Probably be
Survival. yeah, I'd take it as survival or animal handling.
I'm gonna try it, but I'm definitely not good. Yeah, that's only a 7.
You're just like rats.
Ugh.
Ugh, and these were gross rats. They're like,
Cool.
Even worse.
If there's nothing in here, let's go to the next one.
All right. You open the next door, and This should be the 5th door in total, if I'm not like crazy.
See, we're going through this faster than Burl.
You just push this door open. There's a couple skeletons, but they're sideways to one of the beds. Maybe they were sitting on it. And there's kind of some old like stains. There's some old maybe mugs. They're more like just sort of vague circles of dust and iron.
But no money.
No money.
Cool.
And then the next door you do is another locked door as well.
I'm gonna try it. Not as good. It's an 18.
That'll do it. You managed to pick this lock. You kind of remember some of the things you've heard, and you're just kind of not sure why they stick with you so well. But you managed to kind of figure it out and hear this as you do them right. There's a bunch of little like clicks in a row that aren't normal for locks, and you're just like, ugh. But you managed to get it, and it unlocks the door, and you can open it if you want.
I'm gonna open it cautiously.
Yeah, you push this door open. This one is definitely storage as well, but there seems to be, more valuable things in here. There's some gold, there's some silver, there's some bronze. It's not in coin forms, it's more in like heavy chunks. They've melted into these large cylinders that have just been like, they're super heavy though. They're like 100-pound blocks.
I can't grab those, can I?
I don't think you can carry one of them. And they're all sitting there kind of hanging on these sort of metal stands. And so they're hollow circles, and there's stands of these. They just go back. This is sort of a treasure room of sorts, but it's more for like the eventual need for money. And you know that nobody deals in things like this. This is like...
You say gold blocks?
No blocks. They're more like gigantic kind of hollow cylinders of it. That are super heavy. Gold, silver, and bronze.
She's gonna definitely go over and like hug the nearest bronze one. She's like, I want it. She's gonna stay there for a minute.
How big around is it? Like,
each of these are about 5 foot tall.
Ooh.
And they are about a foot around.
do you think I could put my head in it?
I don't think the cylinder part is
The
that
actual
big.
inside part is only about like 1 or 2 inches of metal in the middle.
So that's gonna be
So it's like 5 inches of a hole?
No.
It's like 2 inches tall.
Oh, I thought you said there was only like 2 inches of metal.
Yeah, inside the other soft metals. They're super heavy.
At least this adventure
How
does not
heavy was
involve
it?
trying to get
If you guys
Nakia's
want to roll
head out of a
history,
thing
I
of
mean,
bronze.
I just want to know how
I guess
heavy
you
it
guys
is,
would
though.
probably already know that this is how like an actual kingdom trades money
Yeah.
with another kingdom, and not actually how you trade money. You know, they don't do it
Commonly.
in copper. Kings don't, they don't give the other kingdom a loan in coppers.
Ooh, I have an idea. So, how heavy are they?
The gold ones weigh almost about 600 pounds each.
Oh yeah, I could carry it.
Each.
Yeah, I could carry
And
them.
they're only worth, like, it's hard to say what they're worth, but you could try. But do remember,
I'm not taking it with me. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pick it up. And how wide are the hallways?
they're big enough to carry it.
Like, is it like 5 feet wide?
About.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the gold pillar thing. I'm gonna take it to the hallway, put on its side, and then roll it down the stairs.
All right.
I've made such a
It
bad
smashes
influence.
through the stairs and collapses to the floor below. And then it hits the next stairs and smashes into those. And yeah, you can tell that like bricks and wood were like pulled with it.
Oh, good thing I
So
didn't.
like he killed the stairs.
One of those stairs is gone, and it was made of bricks and wood. It seemed pretty solid.
Oh man, that was great.
She's gonna be
Want to
like,
go down now?
we're gonna probably have to spider crawl.
How? So like
No, you can
it
walk
just
over,
crushed.
It's just one step.
Oh, it's just one step.
But it
that
took
got
an
you.
entire step that was like anchored in, and it took a bunch of stone with it. Like
This is great.
it took part of the wall, like a brick from it. At least.
Well,
What did-
I thought it was a really good idea. Like, if there's anything on the stairs below, it'll kill it, but that didn't work. So you guys
You were
hear
underestimating the weight and the stairs' durability after
So-
100 years of.
so you guys hear a very fast, and then Warren's like, "What happened? Are you guys okay?"
Yeah, I think we'll have probably
We unleashed the
joined
dragon.
them by now, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're running down the
You
stairs.
join them, and there's a missing step. And there's a Nakia who looks distinctly satisfied.
I would immediately
I think it
look
was
to
just
you
kind of
and be like,
looking at it.
What did you do?
Sorry.
Hey!
because
I was just watching Nakia do stuff.
Sure. What did you tell him to do?
I told him nothing. Actually,
Alright.
he
You guys
did
want to
this
go down the
on his
stairs?
For
I
once,
just-
she's
yes.
telling the truth.
Yeah, well,
No, I think you've told the
It
truth.
sounds like
most
we're
of
all
the time.
together and
I
do.
sharing a
I'm very
moment of
truthful.
affectionate bewilderment.
Right.
I understand that it was a cool idea.
Going down
Shame
the
that the
stairs.
stairs didn't really play along.
Well, I was gonna say, good thing we did the poll and not me, but then I realized it weighs about 3 times more than me.
Now we know which step
Wait, hold
was
on. How much
weakest.
do I weigh? No, it only weighs twice as much as me.
Step
May-
very
maybe
lightly.
maybe a
Let me
third
put it
more
this
than
way:
me.
twice as much as a Goliath, and it's not his size.
Wait, you said 600 pounds? Oh, it's only
600 pounds and it's 5 foot.
It's
so
it's only like 200 pounds heavier than me.
Anyway, so we're gonna
Oh,
go
we're
follow
down the
upstairs.
stairs.
Let's follow these stairs and find some friends.
You mean doors?
Follow down the stairs, find friends in the doors. Yeah.
Got it.
You guys head down the stairs and
Door friends.
Doors to
yeah,
the
you
soul.
find you go down. You know this drill. 6 more doors.
Bring it.
Stairs still go down.
Bring it.
Are there
All the
doors
doors.
on the way down on this one as well?
There aren't.
Okay.
But there are little alcoves for torches, or at least there used to be. These rooms are super dark, by the way. The only reason that you can see is because Nakia is casting a light.
right.
The only people that can't see in the darkness are
And
Yeah, but
Brandis-
everyone else can see barely, too
lit.
much far. Like, you see, vague shapes of doors and stuff, but it's all gray.
Yeah, you might
Yeah,
be able to
grayscale.
see 40 feet max, but at least if you're not.
As I mentioned before, Brand's afraid of the dark, so he's kind of sticking with Nakia.
I'm carrying a torch because I trust no one.
I'm opening
So
doors.
you can also stick with me.
Yeah, I'll probably be opening the doors with you.
First one.
Okay. You open the first door.
We can each open a door, you guys.
Yeah, I'm like,
if
oh
you
yeah.
get to it fast enough.
Well, we can do it all at the same time.
The first door, more storage. This one has way more sludge. And maybe broken glass. And there's a whole bunch of unbroken glass as well that just has this incredibly dark liquids in it as well, but they're also kind of sludgy and gross now.
And then I would be like,
Hey, Koo, you should try some of that stuff in that glass.
I'm just gonna investigate it.
Okay, well, investigation check.
That's not good. That's 7.
It's gross.
Brand's
It
gonna,
looks gross.
roll to persuade Q that she should
Brand's gonna walk
taste
over.
it.
That'd be
Brand's gonna walk over and say,
Well,
"Well, let's see what I can find here in this little room that we've got."
And he literally rolls a dice and everyone is confused.
That there's a 15.
Okay. You're aware that this is probably some form of wine cellar, or at least old mead cellar of something similar.
I think we should stay away from this room. It seems full of unwholesome activities.
Are you really gonna try and persuade me?
I rolled a 16.
This is a contest, so you roll. I'm gonna let you.
It would be a saving throw.
Or sleight of hand.
You're not rolling sleight of hand because you're
Because it would
trying
be
to
a-
resist being told what to do. So
By
instead,
a
I'm gonna.
child.
Now, what's your argument? Let me see if this is actually gonna make sense.
Yeah.
What would Brill say that's not stupid? You're gonna have to earn this one.
Let's
If you're gonna make
talk
it
about how my intelligence is 4.
She has +4 to
Plus 4.
intelligence.
You
Plus
say
4.
4, it sounds
Plus
like you got
4.
nothing.
Anyway,
I would say something like, they say that wine tastes better with age. And this used to be some really, really old wine. I'll bet you it tastes great. You should try it.
When it's unopened.
Well, you mentioned those ones over there are unopened.
Are there ones unopened?
There are some that appear to be not too open, but they've had stuff spilled on them, and it's gross now.
Yeah, there's stuff on them.
It's just on the outside. The inside's fine.
How do you know?
Well, look at it. It's still
Why don't you
sealed.
try it?
Here, you roll persuasion check, and you rolled a what?
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, okay, we'll see what you get, and
Persuasion 7 + 8 is 15.
okay. So it's basically a tie. There's no real winner. You guys just argue.
The rest of us leave, I imagine.
Yeah, I think
Next
let's,
door?
let's
Hey,
see what's
Brand, do you
behind this
want to
other
try
door.
it?
What?
There's some really, really aged wine in here, and you know they say wine tastes better with age.
No, they don't.
I don't think that sounds like a very wholesome idea to me. So go ahead and open this next door.
I will just
See
take.
what's behind.
I will take
next
one
door.
of
It's
them.
another barracks. There's 2 skeletons in it. These ones are just
Stop.
both doing normal
Don't
things.
use up.
I will take one of the unopened wine bottles and just carry it with me.
One of the doors. Just do normal things.
Yeah, I've seen normal
I want to open up
skeletons.
I want to open up a new door.
These ones seem like they lived like they died.
Like
I'm
Brand
looking
Roll
for
Anyway,
Very
money.
normal
The
people.
next door.
I'm trying to come up with like folksy sayings I can say about.
There's a
everything.
couple
It's really hard.
copper in the next room. It's mostly on. There's like a couple on one of the. It's a table, but it's broke. The legs snapped under age, even though they're not like weak. They just rotted away, and the table's kind of collapsed. So they're sort of on the floor now. There's like 3 or 4 copper.
Bringing it 3 or 4.
4.
Okay.
Your collection of copper pieces amuses me. That's why I'm giving you more. Now, the next room. So
Does
this
it
is the
amuse
floor.
you more than my collection of spoons? Because I have at least 5 right now.
A little bit. Anyway, so you go to the next room. I'm sure you guys are all going in. This door's locked. It's not an ornate lock. It's just a regular lock you've seen before.
All right, who's gonna open the door? I'll give you some guidance. I've got a lot of experience at helping people open doors.
Let me try just opening it normal first.
Okay.
Ew, that'll be 20.
I'm still gonna
Yeah,
give her.
you unlock this. You remember this is a simple peasant's lock is what you guys call it. Because it's literally what a peasant can afford.
I'm still gonna give her verbal guidance from distance.
Okay. And so you just open this door up. This one,
Great Lord, you're coming along great.
there
You feel
is
progressed.
perhaps something of value in here. This is more of a. It's a nicer barracks. There's only one. Well, there's really 2. Well, there's 1 bed. Yeah. There's really 1 bed, and there's sort of a skeleton, sort of at the desk in it. So this is like a barracks for 1 person, and you can tell that they had some armor. They had some nice clothes that are now dust. And they have a poleaxe, which is a little nicer. It's got some more ornate metal work. It's not like gold or anything, but it's, better worked and looks nicer and looks a bit less rusty and terrible now.
Oh no, thank you. I already tried those fancy poleaxes. They did not suit me.
I just
Now
want.
you just go.
He's got a couple silver in just next to his body. It looks like they were in a pocket.
Best to let
Taking it.
Best to let the things that were with the dead
There's
lay
3
with the
silver.
dead. I'm gonna try.
I'm taking it when he's not looking.
Brand's gonna try and stop him from taking the stuff
Nope,
from the dead.
I'm doing it when he's not looking.
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Roll that stealth check right away.
What's your perception?
15.
Okay, she has to be 15.
She'll beat 15. She's got a crazy
14.
eye.
Oh, you
That's
see
because
her?
I only rolled an 8.
You can move to stop her. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to persuade her? You're gonna try and intimidate her? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna persuade her.
Okay, roll persuasion.
That's
Player
pretty
versus
lousy.
player. This is the real battle.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I know.
lousy.
That's not good enough.
Well, it depends what my plus is. 1 sec.
Do I roll? What do I roll against it?
It would be a
that is
saving throw,
a
charisma
7
saving
total.
throw.
A 7 total.
7. Yeah, that's not good enough for anything she has. So she is not persuaded. She has,
She
however, the
just-
ability to pretend she's persuaded if she wants to, and she can make a deception check.
Deception!
Now, don't you go taking that, or the boogeyman's gonna get you.
That's a really loudly persuasion.
14 deception.
It's not inaccurate though.
You will roll a wisdom saving throw because this is reliant on you finding out if she's a liar.
Ooh, 2. Okay, well, but what's my plus side?
Wisdom plus saving throw.
10, because I have plus 8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good enough. She seems like, okay, I won't take it. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we had this talk. Yeah. I've really kind of seen that you've turned a corner, and I'm glad.
Just around the river bend, man.
Yeah, so let's move on to the next door, shall we?
Okay.
I swipe it as it goes to the next door.
Little sleight of hand. Because he's distracted now. He's not suspecting you.
That is a 20.
It beats your perception, so she does manage to swipe the coins. That was an intense moment there.
I love that moment.
Next door, this is the 5th door. You know, there's no skeletons here, more barracks, 3 copper on inspection. Because I know you guys are just going to search
Don't you go
till you
taking
find
those
the copper.
coins again. We've been over this.
Alright,
Don't make
now
me
this
stop
is
you
the,
again.
This is the 6th door. This one has
Don't
a
go taking
fancier
those
lock.
coins again.
Boy,
Don't
you're
make
not
me
even
take
watching anymore.
What?
I'm making sure you're not watching every time.
There's a fancy lock on this last door. It's like all the other locks, it's complex, it's bizarre, and it's difficult.
Go for the cube.
Sometimes the fanciest locks hold the
Are you gonna
boringest
guide me?
things.
You want to guide her? Who's going to try to pick this fancy lock?
No, this is just a verbal guidance. I'm going to give her advice from a distance, because
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad that you've
Yeah,
made
you just-
progress. I
He's
don't feel like I
afraid of
need
my power.
to, be there directly.
You
so
know your help isn't very helpful.
just,
you just
you
take
roll.
that lock pick and you
Sleight
beat
of
the devil
hand
right out.
is that's
It's our favorite
13.
part of the lock.
That's not good enough. This lock defies your
just take that
previous
lock
knowledge.
pick.
It's just such
Make
a
a
different
web,
combo.
just rub it
I'll
around.
walk up and I'll just
Beat
push
it
her
out.
out of the way.
Brand,
I'll try.
Brand,
that
you're
didn't
not
happen.
helping.
Nope.
What?
You're not helping.
What'd you roll?
I've given you plenty of a good guidance over here.
Yeah,
Nope.
you're just not having it.
You want some I need to take a more active guidance roll here.
Well, yeah, help her roll.
Okay,
Yeah.
come on over here, little kid, and let's take
The way you
the
say that's creepy.
let's take a let's,
I have some
Let's
candy
take
for you.
let's take a gander at this
Like,
lock
come
here
here,
together.
little kid. And I'm just like, Josh, no.
I'm gonna raise you better than this.
It's a whole
Yeah,
new
that'll
dimension
do
to
it. That's
it's a whole-
15 plus 3 plus 6.
See, all you needed was a little touch, a
Sleight
little
of
extra
hand.
guidance.
No, 5.
Happy to help.
5 is sleight of hand.
Okay, so
23.
yeah, that's enough. You managed to do this. You hear these similar whispers again. Just those odd, strange voices. But they're only in your mind.
does one of them sound like Bob Ross?
She doesn't know who Bob Ross is.
No.
I'm just saying. This is... Okay.
They're almost unintelligible at times. They're just kind of in your mind. But they seem to guide you to the right places, and the lock slides open.
Okay.
I'm assuming that is cantrip, the guidance thing.
It is.
Oh yes, it is.
That's what makes clerics so broke, because they can just make someone
I'll be-
better.
I'll be giving
At any
guidance
point.
for a long time to come.
Nope.
Anytime you need help, I'll
Alright,
just guide you right
We'll
there.
go ahead and open up the door and head inside.
Okay. As you open this door, you realize that this door,
Was never supposed to be opened.
this door's, one of its hinges is kind of off, so the door kind of fights you as you push the door back. It's just shoddy workmanship. It's only apparent after 100 years of it being on its hinges. Go figure.
I feel like somebody didn't do a very good job.
Oh, they did a great job, and just, not for 100 years. And this one has a bunch of books in it. This is just books on books on books.
Really?
It's
It's
just-
a library?
It's not actually a library. You can tell this is a book storeroom, and you also know that a lot of these books are pricey and hard to find. And some of them have little gold inlays and things like that. They're very rich. They're probably originals written by someone who wrote them, or they're definitely expensive.
I want to take the most expensive.
If I was to investigate which one looks like it's going to be...
Ooh, same.
That's a 19.
Ha! My
I
investigate
don't know
was
if
a.
investigation
21.
is the stat for this.
History?
I got a 17 plus whatever.
I get 18 plus whatever.
Roll me a history or religion check.
They're both gonna
One
be
of those
plus
two.
1.
History is still 4, so that's still 21.
Do any of these appear that you belong to any of the skeletons?
Actually, my history's plus 4.
The skeletons don't
Your
have name
intelligence
tags,
is
and
also
the books
plus
don't
one.
either.
The books.
No, but I'm proficient in history.
These
because
books
I know
seem-
that
I am
round.
not proficient in history.
There are collections of books. There's an 100 volume set, actually. They're pretty thin, but they all go together in like one side of the room. And they're all written in like really archaic Dwarven for that one. You know, those look all pricey.
Read a book, find a world. I'm gonna go pick up a book and start reading it.
I've got a 22.
Okay. There's there's one nice inlay. You would recognize this. This is a heraldic book, which probably has a lot of useful symbols and names and descriptions. It's probably worth good money
Alright, I'll
because I mean you got to realize that
Apparently she's taking that one.
it's got gold inlays. It's like the kind of heraldry book that royals would use to identify other royals, and like it could be pretty useful, and it's also a way to show off how wealthy and like what they thought of each person when they made it. So unpopular houses have less ornate and less drawn, like they're drawn just purposely a little bad. Whereas the ones who are, maybe paid better or did better are nice and distinct and gold inlaid and bigger on the page.
Beryl will be very curious if the heather toes are in this book anywhere, and she'd flip through to see if she can find them.
I just want to look for the next most useful / expensive book.
I'm just grabbed a random one. I grabbed a random one.
Okay. You grabbed a book. It's moderately sized.
It's plus timetables.
It's actually
And a book that you can just get lost in,
it's a book on hunting, written by a noble who clearly hunted a lot, and decided to share his his massive amount of knowledge with everyone, or at least those who had his book.
Not my cup of tea. Hey, Warren, you want to read this book? You know Dwarvish.
Okay.
It's about hunting.
I think we're just gonna have a reading party in here.
Here's the book on hunting.
Yeah, I want to find the
Okay.
next most useful /
They both sit down
Expensive book.
and read the book about hunting.
Okay.
This is really old dwarf.
Give yours. You do see one. It's sort of like the Bible almost. It's kind of like the one up above the prophecies, right?
No, I already have that one.
But this one is more of it's literally like history of it's just the book. There's not like anything, because like the Bible's just the book. It's the book.
Here you go, friend. I'll get that down off the shelf for you. If anyone needs religion, it's you, friend.
Oh,
And I'm gonna give it to her.
I want to
Need
compare
a
the
lesser
Book of Prophecies
restoration
with this
for that
book.
burn.
Usually they are different. The Book of Prophecies has more books in it. It doesn't have any gold inlays. It's just a really nice book.
Mm-hmm.
This book from down here has the nice gold inlays. It has hand-drawn like little like pictures and like illustrations on every page.
I love it.
And it's written in both Dwarvish and in Elvish, and there's like little scrawled margins in like Gnomish.
Ooh,
I can
read
like. So there's there's a lot of weird things about
He's
it.
got like
It's,
stone skin.
it's just a very
So he's got
very rare
Yeah.
Bible, I guess.
so I should call it the Fantasy Bible.
Sure, if you want
Okay.
to.
I'm calling it Fantasy, and I want to compare what's in the Prophecies book to the Bible book. If the Bible book, I assume, is more like history-ish,
Yeah.
and see if they come together at all.
Okay.
Can I?
That would take time, but yeah, you can do that.
Can
I mean, if everybody else is
Can I
reading.
look through the books and find one for my friend Nakia over here? He's the only one without a book. Everybody needs a book.
I feel like we're taking
You have
a
a lot of
short rest
trouble.
right now.
The rest of our short rest.
Anything
that we
might,
skip.
might appeal to a Goliath like him?
I mean, I really like wood carving and magic.
There's one on kind of on rare metals and jewels and stuff. But there's also one on a kind of there's just not a lot that like really says Nakia.
What other books we got?
That's
We
okay.
got
I'm not
one.
much into
Because I'll grab another random
wood.
one.
You can look at this
I'll grab
one with
another
me. It's got pictures.
At random.
There's
Okay.
one that's there's just an old tome on alchemy as well. It's sort of it's actually not written in Dwarvish, or at least not all the way written in Dwarvish. It's also written in kind of a strange script that none of you guys know.
Here's a strange script for a strange friend. Here you go.
Okay, and then I'll cast comprehend languages as a cantrip to
Okay.
read it.
What does that tell you what language? I don't
It does
think
not tell me what language. I just
Cool.
can read it.
You can read it. The book says, the alchemy.
There's the book. There's the alchemy. There's the prophecies. There's
The fairy tale. The tales.
Well, this is a translation as well, so it has a different sound in real life.
So I'm going to take out a writing implement, and I'm going to take those pieces of paper that Ku gave me, IOUs, a while ago,
Okay.
and
The IOUs.
and I'm going to start writing library card on these pieces of paper and giving them to people. And
Make sure you remember your library card now. Take that with you.
I
Make
don't
sure you
think
bring
that's an established thing in this
Make sure you
universe.
bring 'em
know
back.
that, right?
The
this is
fantasy
the first
library card.
instance of it.
I don't think library cards are a thing.
I'll start putting the cards in the places where the books are, so that it somewhat justifies us taking.
Normally, you can't take a book from a library unless you buy it,
Oh.
and that's usually,
That's
so they're
why
not
we wrote
usually
it on
worried
an
about book
IOU.
thieves.
We'll leave some. I've learned, and I'm going to put IOUs in the places where the books are.
There you go. That'll work.
That's fine.
That'll work.
Oh,
She just takes his IOU and puts it in place. Okay.
All right, books have been searched.
Did I find anything about the heather toast?
You did find the cousins of the heather toes. You've heard of them before, perhaps the progenitors. They're just the heathers, as sort of the branch nobility. The heather toes, you kind of remember them coming from. And they have sort of the heather flower, and it's grasped in the talon of a kind of a bird. But it's not like close up just the talons. It's a different one. It's just the full bird with the heather hanging out from both sides.
I don't have the intelligence for this book learning.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Fair enough.
I have wisdom. I don't need them.
Fair enough, and I'll take the book from
I've
her,
got
and
the
I'll
intelligence.
take the book from Warren, and I'll put it right back. And take the IOU.
Take the IOU.
Make sure we're doing everything all official like here.
Okay.
Okay, well, after I kind of got bored looking through the book, I'd be like, alright, it's done in this room.
Did I find anything interesting in my 2 books before we leave?
It's hard to read 2 full books that could take.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not planning on reading all
They're
of
in
them.
Dwarvish, right?
It's
Some of them are. There's Gnomish
Oh, there was some
side
Gnomish in
scripts
that
in
one,
one
yeah.
of them, and the other one was written in kind of a mix. There was one of each. In the prophecies was written in 2 languages for ye common folk.
Yeah, and what does my book look like it's about?
Alchemy?
The alchemy.
The alchemy.
Yeah.
It is about
looks-
the alchemy.
It's just solid, kind of leather-bound book, very dusty. There's small, kind of clamps of gold and things holding it together. Like all books in this room, it's all rich books. These are the kind of things you don't want people stealing.
What is it like? about as I'm kind of...
It's about alchemical principles, the basis for alchemical knowledge, the elements of which there are 17. And, you know, there's like water and there's different earths mentioned. They have different categories. You know, there's about 9 different types of matter, of the elements. It's very interesting. There's a lot of details. It goes over like how to make one element another, and you know, it talks about theories about, you know, how to acquire gold from lead, or you know, things like that. But they're not really established, and so it's kind of like this book is, you know, is about alchemy.
Yeah.
But
It's just an alchemy guidebook.
But you're reading it through that translation, so it's kind of English. Like the
Yeah, kind of.
alchemy.
I mean, it does the intent. That's what the spell does. It just doesn't do the exact wording.
Alright.
So is there anything interesting from mine?
There is some of the side scripts are interesting. You know, it really depends on what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Throw me a bone here.
I guess I'm kind of comparing the two to see if the prophecies are actually like legit, so that I could see if they have prophecies for the future and see what they say. That's what I'm interested in.
A lot of the prophecies seem to have been, and then there's a ton that are for. You know, there's a lot of future ones, but it's hard to read all of them because, for at least the prophecies, you know, they're written in really flowery script, and they're also translations, so it's kind of like English again.
Cool.
But like each of them, there's entire chapters on each prophecy and like what's going to happen in the future, you know, and it's all written by like which particular person of which particular this at this time. It defines like this huge specific thing, like who did it, why, and then it does the prophecy, and those can take up like 5 pages each.
Cool. I'm gonna read those later. But it
There's
sounds
a
like
lot.
they're legit.
Some.
Cool.
She's just looking for
They put it in
legitimacy
a cool
right now.
book. They put it in a cool book. So I
Cool.
mean, how much more legit can you get?
Exactly. Yeah, so she'll investigate those later.
Okay. Have we explored all the rooms on this floor?
Yes.
Yep.
Stairs remain.
Downwards we go.
Alright, let's do it.
Down
must
we
go deeper.
go.
Okay.
to the
You guys go down the stairs, and as you go down, you do notice these doors are not wooden. These are all bars. There are 6 bars. There are no stairs going deeper.
I think we found the prison.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So if there are bars, can we see through them?
Yeah.
Hey, Nokia, shine through that light and see what's.
Yep, shine through all of the
Yeah.
thingies.
You
I have
see,
a torch. I can. Nokia
Shine
doesn't have
on,
to
you
do all of
crazy
the doors.
But as you guys look through these, each of these bars leads down hallways with kind of doors of their own. These ones are locked. They are combinations of metal and bar, but you know, they're not like super open either. They're pretty reinforced and things just going down way in basically what is a cell block.
Okay.
And there's just a bunch of doors. And there's about 10 and 10 on each side, and then there's at the end of each hallway there's sort of a room as well that looks more like a, I mean, there's still bars there, but it looks like that's more of a supply and provision place, you know, and has a little desk and a place for someone who's maybe taking notes or keeping watch or whatever.
You said some of these led down hallways?
Each of these are a hallway,
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and they all end in a sort of a room that's for, you know, general use in a cell block.
I'm just assuming that there's no gold and everything in a cell block.
Well,
So there's
Brand's gonna call out in his loudest voice, and he's gonna say, "Hey, anybody down here? We got any friends down here?"
nobody
looking for
responds,
friends all
but
day.
on investigation you do notice that there are some bones, or just around, some in cell blocks, some out of it. There's a couple, you know, what you'd assume were guards with their poleaxes still in nearby position, or swords, or armor pieces that are just with the bones or on them generally.
Just trying to make sure there's nobody down here before we move on.
No more stairs going anywhere else. This is the last of it.
All the doors are locked.
And they all go to cells. Alright, I've seen enough. I'm gonna turn around and head back up the stairs.
Yeah.
and be
Wait,
like,
aren't there
go back
stairs
up.
going down?
Nope.
Not this
That's
time.
it.
Oh, so
However-
that's it?
On investigation, you do notice that at the end of each, at least one of them, these hallway blocks, there are shiny things in one of the rooms.
What?
I bet it's that
Why
gold pillar that I dropped.
No,
It's
at
just
each of
double
them.
pillar.
Oh.
In each of them, there's something shiny.
There's probably gonna be
On
a
investigation, the gold pillar is down here. It's just against sort of one of the walls, and it's kind of hit a few times. There's kind of a few, like,
How
odd
dented
cracks.
is it?
It's actually got a serious dent, and it's a bit bent.
It's made out of gold, and
Yeah.
it's like
It's
super
dense
soft.
dense gold, though. So it's like, it's bendable, but
It's like dropping.
you need to heat this up because
it's-
this stuff is solid gold. It's
Yeah.
rolled gold.
It's like dropping soap where it just dents in half.
I definitely feel like Koo's gonna take a double take when she sees that shiny thing. She's gonna go shiny.
Okay, well now that I've
Hey guys,
noticed,
it's shiny.
I cannot get a decent roll. I'm not even gonna bother. I tried perception checks and now I'm trying investigation checks and I just can't get anything.
Brand's gonna light his candle,
Get
one of his
different one.
candles, and he's gonna walk himself right back up the stairs because he's been down in the dark for way too long. Let's reach his threshold.
Alright, Brandon, heads up.
I wanna open the door.
Yeah, I already
You can
said
absolutely do it. What's your sleight of hand?
My sleight of hand? No, I was heading up.
Okay, so you guys are heading up. Cool. Roll sleight of hand.
I'm so dead. Oh. Well, that's only an 11.
11. That'll
I
do
only
it.
got a 3!
For one of these hall doors, these are peasant locks, you can tell. They're just meant to keep people from leaving who don't have something like a key.
Cool. I'm gonna be so dead.
You pop one of these hallway doors open, you can head right down in.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna go through.
Warren, are you with them or are you come with us?
I'm standing on the stairs between you guys again, like, guys, stop.
It's like,
Don't
Hey.
just wait for another minute before you leave. Okay?
It's probably gonna
Don't-
get darker if you don't go.
Don't.
Okay.
okay. I'm
And I have a
gonna
torch so I can
sneak,
stay there.
sneak over to
Oh,
the
that's
shiny.
Okay. Did you roll stealth? If
I
you're trying
can
to
roll stealth.
Do you have a torch out? Because
That's a candle.
Oh my gosh, this
I told you
dice is
yeah, light the
retired.
candle.
It's a 8.
Okay.
On the way up.
So you sneak over, there's kind of this other door, you kind of push it open, this door's not locked. I mean, it could have been. It's got a lock, it just wasn't locked. And you know, you pass by some bones that used to be near it, you know. But you go right in, you push this door open, and you kind of sneak your way in like little sneaky like Tom and Jerry expression.
I'm not stealthing. I'm just walking behind you.
There's a couple coins on one of these desks. These desks are almost more stone than they are wood, so they've managed to exist. Because they're more of like a plinth. But they are sort of a desk, and you can get, like, this is for, you know, just efficiency's reasons of keeping things. You can tell that while people were kept in this jail, it didn't seem like they stayed there for the rest of their lives normally, or at least not intentionally.
Okay.
But so they needed people to process things, and there's papers, or at least there used to be. There's dust in sort of vague squares and vague parchment lines. You know, there's a box full of dust nearby. There's a whole bunch of torn shreds and barely readable papers.
Okay. What was the shiny thing?
A bunch of copper, and also, you know, there's a set of keys. These ones are made sort of a bronze material.
I'm taking
I
them.
want the keys. Oh.
you're bigger than she is. Don't let her boss you around.
finally
True.
want something.
I didn't want them that bad.
I can give you the coins.
He is a very
I don't
passive
want the
giant.
coins.
Yeah, he is.
That's exciting.
No, no.
So as you're doing that, Nakia, where are you?
Wait, how many
Ooh,
coppers?
There's
I'm
about
just
7
behind her.
coppers.
And just behind her, how far? Or are you wanting to know, like, how far?
I
Or?
just want to know where you are. Are you in there with her, looking over this desk?
Yes.
Okay.
How many keys were
What are you
there?
guys' perceptions?
11.
Passive perception is
Door's gonna
16.
close and lock you guys in there.
Surprise. Cool. You hear the soft click.
Oh, turn towards it.
Last
She's
time
very
this
on
happened,
edge
I
right
almost
now.
died.
All right. What are you guys on the stairs doing?
Oh, we're way up the stairs at this point.
Well, okay. You guys have to yell for help because he won't hear that click.
Oh, so the click, and I see the doors closed?
I mean, Nakia did not hear the click. It was a very soft. And we're gonna go to you in a moment.
Okay.
I'm baiting you.
I'm continuing to up the stairs because he's reached his limit. He's ready to go to where it's brighter, and he's gonna probably continue up the tower because he's interested in kind of what's up at the top.
Okay.
Orin is trying without much energy left to stop them from leaving.
Motivated by finding some friends.
I really don't like this new brand. Anyway, bro, what are you doing?
I was getting bored, and so I was just gonna head out and probably wait on the main landing.
Hey.
It was
No
exactly
longer
as boring
boring.
up there as it was down here.
No, it's
Well,
not
wait for the
boring.
rest of everybody to come back up.
You guys go up. It seems normal. Things seem okay. But as you get sort of towards the ground floor, you do notice the lighting is weird. It seems like it's almost sort of dusk outside. And what's your perception?
11.
Yeah, you don't really see much. Warren, what's yours?
I'm at the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, you're at the
I'm
bottom.
at 15.
15. You notice that you do notice there's a flag out there at the door that wasn't there earlier.
Hi, it's a flag. Somebody's
Look,
gone
it's a
caught.
happy little flag.
You're like, what flag?
It's a happy looking
You know,
flag.
classic. One of the banners. It's old and tattered, and it's kind of just dusty as all get. But it's attached to a long kind of pike, and it's just flying in the wind.
Look, little guy, it's got a flag right there.
You're like, what flag?
Nice little happy flag. Just paint it right in there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did that get there?
Well, there's your attention. And what are you guys gonna do?
Gonna go investigate the flag.
Oh, that's out the main door of the tower.
I'm gonna stay right where I am. I'll be like,
TPK from a
somebody's
flag.
here and we're not alone, and everybody else is down there.
See, we're all gonna
Well, Brandon's gonna go investigate the flag because he's a naturally curious fellow.
Naturally
All those
curious,
doors
gonna
we
go
opened?
investigate the flag.
Out the
Yeah,
main door?
I'm this old
Going out
Brad.
the door, looking at
That's
the
mine.
flag.
Alright.
That's what I- that's
You
why I
open
didn't
the main
it
door,
myself.
and then we go back to the basement.
Cool.
Just open that
Was
main
it the door that closed?
Was the door that closed?
Cool.
How large is this cell? Is it like a long cell or a...
The one you're in is less of a cell and more of an office cell. It's about 10 feet by 10 feet.
Okay, so for some reason I thought it was like 50 feet long, and I don't know why.
The hall you're in is like 50 feet, and then there's the cells along it.
Oh,
That's why you're thinking it. It's cool.
That's why you had that
I got your
number.
back.
I thought it was just
Can
one
I-
cell that was a hallway.
Can I surmise why the door closed?
You absolutely can.
Surmise away.
Is it investigation?
What
do you
don't
want
have
from
to
me?
roll. You are very much aware that the skeleton by the door is standing
Outside or inside?
just outside the door.
Where I am? Great.
No, because we're
You're
down
the
the hallway.
stairs.
Got it.
Yeah, you're by the stairs.
So
we're
you're
down.
actually you're almost
Right.
100 feet away and around a corner slightly.
Around
Gotcha.
the corner.
And this skeleton just kind of is staring at you guys.
She's probably gonna be like, guys.
Did all the skeletons come alive at night
Oh.
when we were sleeping?
Totally knew this.
I can
just gonna call out as she's looking at it.
I can
Guys.
give me the keys. Give me the keys. And then I'm going to Misty Step out.
Okay.
Hey, cool, thanks.
And then
It just leaves you there.
okay, so I Misty stepped out next to the skeleton.
Is Misty Step a cantrip?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
I just cast a spell.
Just checking.
Why would you do that?
I thought I could Misty Step with you, like if I grab you, but that's not how it works. So
Can you Misty Step?
He would
Can
leave
the,
you
key,
behind.
can the keys go through if you're Misty Stepping?
it's well.
Or do they
I mean,
just
my
go
clothes do go.
Oh, that's true. That would be really awkward.
Surprise!
Because as you're Misty stepping, she's probably gonna call out again and be like, guys!
And then I'm gonna try and open up the
Anybody
thing
there?
with the keys, even though there's a skeleton right next to me.
Okay. The skeleton
Actually-
just kind of puts its hand on your hand as you put the key to it and just kind of pushes you down.
Are there any other skeletons?
Give me I guess a perception check.
Oh, that's a 9. 9 plus 1, maybe.
You're aware
Yeah.
that
10.
there isn't another skeleton in this hall.
Okay, there's none.
You can't really see any.
Is
Yeah.
there a skeleton in the cell with Q? Does she
There is
have a cellmate?
Fortunately for
You know,
you,
if-
there is not.
Yeah, you know, if there's any more skeletons gonna come alive, I'm gonna stay in that. Nice little cage.
I have a
Till
feeling.
morning.
I have a feeling. Yeah, they come alive at night, and I'm kind of a little worried of
Wait,
what happens with all these guys out here.
The ones that you were beating up
I
earlier.
didn't beat them up. I just switched them around and made a big amalgamation.
And the
with
ones that
our
I have
bones.
made a point of respecting this whole time, I'll have you know.
Yeah,
I did
did
not disrespect any skeletons.
hey,
And
neither
you
did
best
I.
believe every skeleton I run into, I'm going to give a head nod to.
You did steal a skeleton's crown and put it in your.
Did you hear me? I did.
You did.
And if it
So there's
was
that
sentient at all,
But
I would
it
know.
was not out of disrespect.
But
Okay,
you stole
So,
the queen's
I
crown.
put my hand down, and I'm just going to message over to her and say, hey, there's a skeleton in this closet, and it's alive.
It's not a closet, it's in the middle of the hall, man.
I know, but I'm
She's
just going to
alive.
say it's in the hall. In the
She's
closet.
Well, I can see out of. I
I'm
can see
doing-
out of
see
it,
it.
right?
No,
Yeah,
I'm doing to
Oren?
Warren?
Warren.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
There's a skeleton in this closet. and It's
There's a
alive.
There's a lot of
Warren
skeletons
is
in
going to
this
Also, you can
closet.
apply
be
this message.
stairs and out of here.
Warren's just like, guys, there's a skeleton alive down here. Get down here.
And
Can they
all I
even
hear
hear?
is
This
there's
is like
skeletons.
4 floors down.
And of course, they're absolutely aware as they open the door because out in the courtyard there are skeletons standing. Many of the guards have just restood. They're carrying their poleaxes, they're moving into positions, they're standing guard. You know, they're literally starting to resume what they were doing when they died.
The amalgamation that I made, did they reassemble themselves properly, or is it just a mess?
If they did, they're gonna give you a dirty look.
I'm sure they would.
They'll think that
They actually didn't, and they're slithering around
Oh no.
right now in this titanic mass of dead that's actually picked up the other one, like the ones you've made, and it just sort of gathered together. And they're kind of like sniffing almost. They're like hunting the trail of something.
Okay, we're shutting that door.
um,
I'm not gonna move from here. Oh boy, I need to go
The
fix
door
that
made some
morning.
noise. It's not like necessarily the quietest thing when you slammed it. Good job.
Brad, someone gets this door. I need you to eradicate it again.
Brandy.
Although there's skeletons inside there too, aren't there?
And we also opened up all the doors.
We also opened up all the doors.
Most of them weren't locked. You
Yeah.
were screwed anyway.
I'm gonna talk to the skeleton. Say, hey, can you talk? That'd be really cool if you could talk. Also, maybe scared.
They don't respond vocally to you.
Okay.
You try messaging him.
Can you telepathically talk to him?
I'm gonna try that.
Okay. What spells do you have to do that?
I'm gonna try and do message and say, hey, can you reply in this message? So
And message is a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
You
So-
can add a soft yes.
Ooh, you can talk to him.
Talk to it. I actually don't
Beg
know
it
what's
for
going
mercy.
on.
yeah. So I'm just gonna like repeatedly this message as if it's like a conversation.
Cool. At some point, it's gonna
Conversely?
be like, so what's going on?
Why did you lock us in the thing, in that room?
Thieves belong in the dungeon.
Am I a thief? I don't think I stole anything. I hope I didn't steal anything.
Well, technically, he took the keys.
I took the keys from you. I stole it from you, and maybe I could return it. No, I didn't say that.
It's because I can't respond.
Anyway, so
So as you're doing that, you two, and next to the closed door, that you slammed, you're also aware that you hear noise from above and below.
Okay. Well,
This is great.
I like this. This
I'm really
is
glad
fun.
that I'm in, a
well,
safety box.
Is there any evidence of them being malicious to us at all?
They haven't done anything to you.
yeah, I think they might just be going about their.
Who slammed the door? Did she slam the door? I didn't slam the door.
She slammed
for
the
a
door.
certain group.
I'm gonna open the door back up.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, what?
I am going to cling onto your leg and be like, "You like dead people? Please tell them I'm sorry. And I didn't mean it. And I really want to put them back together. Just don't kill me."
I'm gonna open the door up. I'm gonna look at all the skeletons as someone sells themselves out in the yard. And I'm gonna give them one giant. Stuff.
Yes. Yes.
One giant.
You do, and like, give me a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh boy. These are cursed dice. You were right.
What'd you roll?
A 5 plus whatever.
They don't really seem to respond to that much, but you do kind of feel something kind of go through the air.
It would have been a 7. That's what it would have
Yeah. This is sort of unrelated to your role.
been. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely feel this. There's sort of a kind of a wave of just absolute irritation that goes through the air and just kind of like slithers down your spine and kind of like feels like ants on your back.
Oh.
And
Is that everybody or just them?
everybody except for Ku and Nakia.
I'll just be like, I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
The huge kind of like pile of skeletons is sort of sorted itself out. It's now more of like 7 different heads and kind of it's more like a hydra of people,
Two skeletons
of
sitting on
bone
top of each
people.
other.
I am going to.
And it's kind of gone into the main hall for a bit and then just comes back out and starts coming towards the tower.
Okay. I am going to try and approach it as apathetically as possible and unthreateningly and in all
Don't do that.
pure of heart and just
Diplomacy.
guilt and
Okay, what are you
wanting
rolling?
to help. What am I don't know what that would be to add
I'm
to
bringing
it.
out the lawful good in her.
Deception,
Almost feel like we
persuasion.
need to talk to
I'm not
Intimidation.
trying to
Figure out how
I'm trying to be honest here and just really want
What
to
if they want to be
correct my past
skeletons?
mistakes and errors. I want
guess
to
we'll just
to
leave
what's
them
it called?
Honest or not,
roll.
I mean, there's a certain amount of
After I figure out where Brando Bar is.
behavior.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Well,
I guess roll performance.
Performance?
13, what's your performance bonus?
That's not gonna be. That's gonna be a lot worse.
Yeah,
How
welcome
about
to,
deception then?
I don't want to
Is that
deceive
better?
though. I'm trying to be honest. Deception is being.
So it would be persuade.
Yeah. Well, it's not persuasion. It's not persuasion. Roll persuasion. What's
Yeah.
persuasion?
I'll put a
6.
hand on her shoulder and be like,
Yes,
Okay, roll a d4.
I'll be like, honesty is the best policy. So,
Yes, please. Am I adding it or am I re-rolling?
Just add it.
Okay. It's a 4. Yes.
What'd you get?
That would be 11 plus 6. So that's 17.
That's not bad. So what are you doing to try to persuade this? Just bowing, scraping?
I would
Do all of
probably
those.
I mean, this is pretty
bow.
pathetic, but yeah, keep going.
I would just, I would try to bow and, respect nobility because I'm a noble, we know
You
that
do
stuff.
you do a lot of obeisance and stuff. It comes up to you, and there's kind of a moment, and there's just they kind of sees what you're doing. You kind of do your spiel, and kind of leans down and bops you one,
I know. I'm terrible.
And you take
This is like the
maybe
scene
1
from
point of
Spy
damage.
Kids 2.
Yeah. You can kind of tell that it was intended just to be like a stiff, like, how dare you?
Cut to the ear.
I'm so sorry.
Like, never do it again.
Okay.
And then it kind of like ambles off for a bit, and it's, you know, starting to like figure out whose arms is whose.
I want to help you put yourself back together. Can I do that, or should I
They
do
kind
The
of give you a
voice of
look.
Warren.
no?
One of them
comes up.
shakes the other one's hat fist at you, you know, it's just like a
Okay.
good times all around.
Okay.
But you do notice some of the guards are kind of around the gate, and they kind of looking at you, and they're making sure you're like not doing anything too crazy.
I already did my crazy for the day. I won't do it again. I promise.
Yeah, so back in, you know, there's, in fact, from the main hall, you do see like 4 more kind of skeletons. One of these is wearing a helmet, and they do have like what may have been some kind of feathers or hair that used to be some kind of like crest, you know, perhaps a bit more notable. And they come out and they kind of point at you guys and they kind of march over.
Ooh.
Guys.
We're just be like hands up. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm sorry.
So it's these two?
Yeah, these 2 at the door. And they kind of apprehend you guys if
Okay.
you guys want to fight it.
No, I'll be apprehended.
Now,
Okay.
friends, no need to struggle.
There's-
It's not like they're like dragging you or anything, but they are kind of making sure you don't do anything, and they're kind of escorting you.
Okay.
But more of one of the kind of the leader, skeleton, you kind of tell, seems to point to a few more and point back into the tower and point down.
Yeah, we got a couple friends right down there. You know, you want to make sure we all get together. Gonna be a lot of fun.
So you guys, they march you into the main hall.
Okie dokie.
These guys, there's skeletons coming down the stairs. But you guys are now starting to see skeletons just basically coming out of the woodwork. Especially down the stairs, you see kind of skeletons with poleaxes or swords, kind of held if the straps are broke.
All I can say is a real good thing Grog wasn't there to smash all of these things.
No kidding. My amalgamation of skeletons is kind of scary already. Smash
That was the
them.
best way that could have gone, let's just be clear.
Yes.
Alright, so you being approached by skeletons, Warren, and they seem to be like aware of you and coming towards you.
I'd be like, guys!
You can't go anywhere.
No, I can't. Are they like coming from all directions?
You know, some of the doors down there do open up, and there are a few skeletons that come out. There's about 3 from, you know, their halls. You do, you know, one of them, there's another skeleton that seems to be kind of there, but one of the other skeletons kind of pushes them back and kind of closes up the door behind them.
Warren's got a loose trigger finger, so I'm worried about how this is gonna go down.
I don't. He would.
He would
Let's-
regroup, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
With who? Like,
With
there's.
us?
There's
Because you're
only-
closer to us.
How? Okay,
Well, are there...
Well, you don't see the skeleton that's with them, right? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she
They
knows
told
about it
her,
though.
so she knows.
Oh, it's
Or he
Warren knows
knows about
there's a
it.
skeleton that's,
But there's skeletons coming down the stairs.
and there's also
this
skeletons
is like
coming
an
out of the other
impossible
doors.
situation for Warren.
yeah, he would
This is
freak
like his nightmare
immediately.
scenario.
This is literally like the party split. The party's gone. The party's probably dead.
Branch is excited.
The skeletons are
coming.
Death is coming hard down the stairs.
Yeah. So I think I'm
Well,
talking to
horsey.
me like the. What do you? I don't know if you're like just a middleman, but like, do you know kind of what the plan is for us? Like, what your?
Okay.
Who's gonna sit on the table because she doesn't know what's going on?
So I mean, he seems like a nice skeleton.
Well, she can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all are in front of the door and the door's locked.
The skeleton like literally just puts up a hand in kind of like a hold gesture. The general like silence knave motion.
Nod like, oh, sorry.
Okay,
You're so passive.
All right,
Warren's
you're
gonna
in-
try and run up the stairs.
Knock you.
You run right into skeletons.
Okay, what's
We're
going
gonna
on?
run back down the stairs.
Six skeletons with
Oh
poleaxes.
yeah, you couldn't hear anything I was saying.
No.
You run right down, but they just come downstairs, and there's other skeletons that kind of have you fully
Such a good
surrounded.
Scooby-Doo moment. I love it. So
Oh,
you should
yeah.
be running
He
into
knows
the door,
they're-
and then you'll come out of a different door, and they'll come out of a different door, and they'll be chasing you. Like,
All right,
and then you'll be
so
chasing them, and
Where
it'll be
this
great.
is? Ask him what's going on.
So he's gonna
Skeletons.
pull out his
I mean,
great club.
I did ask.
And here's how we lose Warren.
I was not. He did. He rolled a 19 on hitting the nearest one.
She's also being trying
Okay.
to be persuasive.
Roll for damage.
Wait, is this turning into a thing? No.
I mean, no.
I feel so bad.
But if it helps me get out, then maybe.
I thought Warren didn't like engaging in fighting.
Well, he's surrounded by skeletons. He's freaking out. That's an 8.
You smash one of these skeletons, the bones collapse. It drops its poleaxe, which just sort of slams, kind of with you, but doesn't hit anything. But it's still kind of noisy and crazy.
Did I hear
And
that?
You did hear that.
I'm just gonna face
One of the
palm.
leaders, this one, you notice one of these also has sort of, you would know also, but one of these has the crest helmets, but, and this one's just literally raises a hand and then just slaps you from 10 feet away.
Me?
Because he throws a hand at you.
He doesn't even do that. And
Force slap?
there's this sensation and you feel slapped.
Thoroughly slapped. How much
You
damage?
got a good
right?
slap, no damage. But you're aware that you've been slapped.
Okay, well, they seem friendly enough-ish.
Stay back! I warn you! I have a cat!
And what was a friend if you
Throw the
don't
cat
have
at
I mean, the dog would be more scary to a skeleton at least.
You'd be surprised. Anyway, so
I'm also blinking a lot because I just got slapped.
yeah, and so you notice the skeletons around you have just dropped poleaxes to the point, so they kind of have you in a circle of pincushion. The one that you smashed is kind of rolling around a bit, and it's kind of putting itself back together. It's doing it slowly and pathetically. So one of the other skeletons that isn't getting you is literally picking them up and putting them together.
That's so cute. There's some camaraderie.
Are there any skeleton dogs for Bronx to play with?
I'm just very.
You didn't see any.
I'm just very grateful that he's not dead because by all rights, attacking deserves an attack. So he's just really okay, we're cool.
All right, you put the club down. You put it away. What do you do?
I put it on the floor and put my hand.
Okay.
Okay.
They kind of get you up and they kind of get you in formation while more skeletons kind of open the cell block and go into where Kill and Naki are.
Do I see it?
You do see it. You hear
Okay,
the door
well, they're
open and you see literally 6 more skeletons with
Nakia!
poleaxes come in.
There's
One of
more
these has another, so there's one with a crest near you and there's another one with a crest that's coming towards you guys as well.
Yeah, I warned Nakia.
You have the highest perception, so you're aware that the skeleton with the crest, their eyes are glowing slightly.
Huh?
Yeah,
Interesting.
as they approach.
Yeah, higher
Nakia, you
level
gonna do anything as these skeletons approach?
I'm gonna be you seem like nice guys.
Skeletons with
Do
poleaxes.
you know what? Well, I don't know. I'm trying to be friendly or
We
something.
wanted to break the curse. Say something like that.
do you know what the plan is for us, or
Bit drafting
Like,
here, don't you think?
The one with the helmet literally raises a hand and you get the message to you, which you're aware of. You're just silence, come. And the one of the guard that's stopped you reaches for the keys and kind of grabs them and
Alright.
unlocks the door and kind of opens it. And some there's 3 skeletons that are watching you, but 3 the other 3 kind of go in to apprehend Ku.
Cool.
So you guys just gonna go with him?
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I'm
Cool.
There's too many for me to
They
fight.
escort you guys out the cell and to Warren, and they take all three of you up to the entrance. And you guys gonna do anything there?
No, there's not. There's so many of
So
them.
it's, for all
Just
intents
making
and
sure.
purposes, this is like a Pirates of the Caribbean situation where they're invincible, so like, you know.
You don't.
I'm more interested if they're gonna talk to us and tell
And
us
they
what's
bring
going on.
you into the main hall as well, and so everyone's in the main hall, and you can
guys.
see there's an extremely upset skeleton. The king is sitting there on the throne just fine. He's actually just kind of just sitting in a relaxed position,
up
but
in
the queen
the-
is standing. And
Did you take the king's line?
No, I took the queen.
And the whole hall is filled with skeletons. And they've, some are still wearing maybe the remnants of what clothes they had before. And they're all just sort of standing in this grand collection. And, they bring you into that. And the queen, whose perception checks? What is everyone's? You're 16. Who's the lowest?
15.
I have 11.
11s?
Passive is 12.
Cool. So everyone can see that her eyes are glowing more than even the captain's, especially if you're two and you know that the eyes were glowing. Hers are visibly glowing.
Like
They
the
give off
queen?
this like faint, almost reddish blue smoke,
She is mad. I would immediately turn
and
to
she's
Koo
got
and be
this
like,
kind of aura and stuff. The king also has the same aura, but maybe not necessarily
Not
as volatile
enraged?
right now.
yeah, just seeing how angry the queen is, I would immediately just look to Koo and be like, what did you do?
She's not acknowledging Burl at all.
Brand's
Be like,
giving head nods.
What did you do? Alright, while she's
Friend.
not acknowledging me, I'm gonna grab her bag and rummage through it and see if I can
No,
find-
I'm not letting you grab my bag.
Should we fight for it?
Well, I just thought of.
In front of all of the skeletons?
Fight.
Yeah. I feel like, what did you do, Koo? Give me that bag!
No, friends.
She's
no.
You're
trying.
gonna make it worse.
She's trying to hide it. You're trying to show it off.
If they know that I did it, I'm probably dead.
I'm gonna be dead anyway, look! Yeah, no, that's not doing anything.
Would you roll?
She speaks from experience of
Let
having
go, like,
known that
maybe-
apologies were
Try
required.
futilely to do something.
Brand's gonna hold her back and he's gonna say, now, friend, no need to fuss. I'm sure there's an easy
did something.
explanation for
She
this.
did something, I can see it on her face, she did something!
Can I roll a deception?
You can roll a deception.
It's mostly for everybody else. All of the other skeletons.
Should I roll to fight against
Deception.
that?
That's a 19.
It's a pretty, you have a pretty good poker face.
A look of
It's more like a.
confusion.
I feel like, I know you cute, I know you too well, I've been with you for 4 years, I know you did something!
Again, it's more for the skeletons.
Unfortunately, the queen is not deceived. And there's a moment, and there's a whole bunch of just like. She does another one of those. You feel that sensation again. She just kind of like shakes her hands and like opens her mouth in this wordless thing, and then you all feel that wave of like just sheer irritation and just being violated by ants.
To be
just,
fair,
like,
me and
everywhere.
Nakia did not feel it before.
Now you feel it.
Now we
and
feel
it's in spades.
Then we all feel it?
You feel like ants are just all over you.
Do we all feel it?
You all feel it.
I'll be like, cute!
And all the skeletons around shudder.
Ooh, that's a
Even the king.
that's a
Wait,
very
Sounds like a
unique
Yes.
xylophone.
What?
Sounds like a xylophone.
It does kind of have little like.
I think if
Like
Brand,
little
I think if
flippy
Brand
noses.
knew she took the crown, he'd be insisting she return it. But he was
doesn't know.
indisposed, so did not know. Actually, she would have been able to take it in the first place. I think. I think he would
Probably
have
not, yeah.
I'm gonna slide
The
it down into
irony
your
of
pack.
that.
Yes! That's a 17 plus 5.
Can you see where it is though? Because I have many things in my backpack.
You're gonna have to roll against Koo's perception. Koo, roll a perception check.
Oh.
I mean, there's no way you're hiding this, so
Um,
you gotta like really roll.
12.
I'm gonna do a investigation check to see why the queen might be
Roll
angry.
insight.
Me? Oh yeah, that would make more sense.
So they responded to any words you
Inside,
said?
17.
We haven't said any words.
Oh.
You've
Well,
talked
I
to
would
each other,
say-
but not to them.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm going to talk to the queen.
Wait, let him finish.
Oh, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was doing like a 17 just to see why she's so angry. She's angry, but why? I probably wouldn't realize that's the crown missing.
I know.
Do you realize that, for insight, you're like, she's missing something? She had something last time you saw her. You're aware she had a crown?
It's the crown!
And you can tell that she's upset and she gestures to her head a bit every now and then, like absent-mindedly, like, I'm missing it.
Okay,
Oh,
now,
I'm missing the crown.
now Burl's action.
My 22
And then I
against
look
her
at
12.
Okay. You do manage to, like, get into her stuff without her knowing, or at least not being, like, immediately like, stop. Give me
I feel like people are taking actions against me before I can
Alright.
actually
As I'm
like
doing that, I look
make
at
conscious
Bran, the look.
decisions.
They are, and that's...
Makes me kind of
Right.
really.
Can
Mixed
I
to
really
that.
talk to the queen? I asked to talk to the queen first before you did anything.
Okay.
No.
It's true.
She definitely got. Oh.
No, I
Yeah,
did.
no,
I
I
asked to talk to the queen while he was still going.
Well, he was
You
doing
talk to the queen.
but I just want to know.
We'll resolve this before you talk to the queen. Okay.
Yes.
Do your
Alright,
stupid
go ahead.
thing.
I will give Bran the look that I want some help.
To be fair,
Or you could just
if Bran
ask
had known,
that
he
you
would have
want
also
something.
on your
He's
case.
talking-
Like she was
He
totally
can't
willing
help
to
you.
give the crown back, but people are making passes at her now, so she's gonna be more stubborn. about it.
No,
That's
it's
fair.
gonna be like a 5.
Man, this
Not,
is like
doesn't
I'm sorry,
like
Michelle.
to be told what to
the
do.
fight
Huh?
of the
This
rogues.
is the nature of...
No, I know. That's.
fighting.
I'm just saying.
Infighting.
This will be a
This is
rogue,
what
rogue
happens.
battle.
Okay, right. What'd you roll?
5.
5. You can't find it. You can barely find anything. How does Coob find anything in the air? You find a rat. What's this? Garlic?
It's your own system.
There's no finding of things. There's just more adding.
There's just garlic. You
Pretty
must have
much
found
just
the
a bag
garlic
of holding.
pocket.
I guess so. Alright, I'll hold my hand there.
Sorry, you didn't roll well enough. I'm gonna give Rochelle a bone on this one. I'm not gonna let everyone just dogpile her. Now, Bran, you're
only one
talking to the
person's
queen. What do you
dogpiling.
say? How do you do this?
I say, now I can see there's a bee in your bonnet. Why don't you let
Is
us?
that how you want to talk to a queen?
Why don't you let us know? Well, I mean, he's a folksy guy. What?
It's true, but he is a cleric. He knows at least a little bit that they have rules. Or at the very least that they talk fancy.
Bran's having a very clear, all of a sudden, conversation with himself about this, and then he says,
Maybe it's your patron trying to help you out.
"Your Majesty." I'm just
Oh
kidding.
my goodness.
No. He's like, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. No, he says, well, we're willing to help you out if, I mean, if you can let us know what's going on. In all the sincerity that he can muster. Because he's really sincere about this.
He's sincere. Roll a persuasion check, because you're going to have to try to be persuasive with your folksy accent.
He is not a very persuasive person, just so you know. That was a persuasion, you say? Oh, yeah, he's not persuasive at all. That was an 8.
Yeah, okay, so you don't convince them, and they're just kind of like... They're just kind of like, oh, peasants.
Alright.
So, but, you know, the queen's kind of done waiting, and she kind of, like, does, like, a clap of sorts. There's no physical sound other than the little of bones. And, one of the other skeletons kind of shamble. They're kind of, like, a bit hunched. They're kind of like maybe a wizard. And you can tell they've got like this little like kind of crystal ball of sorts that seems to have somehow, it's a bit dusty, but it's still good. And they kind of like do a little thing, and it takes a bit of time, so they're just holding you there while this sort of wizard
Can
does this thing.
Well-
If there's gonna be time, can Ku be like, wait? Can we talk? May we talk with you, please?
The queen just gestures to the wizard to keep going, but like is like makes a gesture of like speak.
Cool. I'm hoping this doesn't get me killed. I'm first gonna like kick Burl
I do. You're the one that
Hey,
stole it.
I'm kicking you, and then I'm kicking you.
Punch you right back.
And walk forward and
Like, you're the one who
Die.
got our soul in this mess. You can't
I'm
go
gonna-
for.
procure
She's not
the
only person
crown,
who's been taking things.
and as
You've
the
also
most
been taking
sweeping
lots.
bows I can, and be like, we just wanted to find out what was wrong with this town, and help if possible.
Roll deception. That's a lie, and you know it.
No, she definitely wanted to help. She definitely wanted to help the
That's
town.
not why you
took
did
the crown.
anything, and you know.
She never said that she took the crown for that.
It doesn't matter. It's still deception. I know what you're trying to justify. It doesn't change it.
It's my deception roll is only
Because half truths are still
13.
deception. 13, huh?
yeah. I still think it's persuasion, but
Well, persuasion would be like, oh, I want something. But if you're trying to, like, sell that things are a certain way, even when they're not exactly, and you're kind of aware, like, you can still want that, but that doesn't mean that's why you're exactly here, and you know you came here for information on Brando Bars as
That's
well as
true.
the
That is the
sweet loot
first.
that you were hoping for. And, you know, I think that's
I think those are like first, second, third.
the thing. That's the thing about
Brando Bars
deception.
is
You're trying to
first.
sell that your desires are higher in order that you want
Than
what
it
they
was.
want, even though
Fair.
that's not what you want.
Okay.
So it just doesn't go off very right. But the queen does kind of stomped out of it, clickety clackety, takes her crown, and just backhands you one.
Did you offer
How
us
much
to-
Can I-
damage did she get for that?
Do I get to dexterity saving throw that?
You really don't.
You deserve this one.
But she only does 1 point of damage.
You get
I
it.
mean,
It's
that's a hard
necrotic
slap.
damage.
Ooh, ow.
It's not actually the slap, it's this touch of death that you feel when she does it. There's the feel of like touching something that shouldn't be alive and just sort of rage damage almost.
I still feel
And
like I
it's
should have been allowed to dodge that.
You probably should have, but there's only one problem with the whole dodging thing, and that's you kind of have to see it coming.
How did I not see that coming?
You know, you're not wrong.
Maybe you.
I think
maybe
you
because she's a
deserve it.
queen, you were just picturing her grabbing her crown back, but not the slap.
She deserved
No,
that.
that's. I don't want to be unfair here.
But she did deserve that.
Yeah.
Whether I deserve
you should
it
give
or
her a
not.
chance to
All,
dodge.
all of us have
Roll
stolen
the
from the
dodge,
dead so
but
far.
roll dexterity saving throw,
I mean, I
and
took the
roll
book,
disadvantage
but-
because there are still guards around.
Yeah, I stole from
There's
the
not a lot
dead.
of
You
room.
made an amalgamation out of bones,
That's a
and
12.
you've stolen things from the living.
I only took the dice.
You don't take any points of damage,
like
but you do
before
get
this,
slaps.
many
You manage to
times.
turn so it doesn't hurt you as bad, but it does feel really
'Cause I
bad.
think if she had
Okay.
totally dodged it, the queen would probably have gotten more angry anyway.
Probably.
She might not care.
I mean,
So the queen storms back up to her
Do
throne,
your worst.
and the king just kind of makes this gesture of like chillax. just like sit down, you know. And there's a moment where the queen's just like fuming, and then she just does, and it's really petulant.
Alright. Well, if I could take a moment now that everything's been settled, because I've got position of privilege and I am a noble and I can work with these people.
Okay.
I'd like to go up and try to inquire what exactly happened here and why all the dead are reanimating only at night.
they have not responded to anything we've talked to them so far.
I mean, the guy once replied to me, but I don't
You can
know.
talk to them.
Before that, explain that we were coming here, passing through to try to get to this place, and that we're very, very curious as to what in the heck is going on.
So the king gestures to the court wizard again, who finally has finished his thing. And the court wizard just kind of like raises kind of his orb up in one hand,
He's got a big long wait.
and it just starts to like kind of create this like sort of light sphere that just kind of expands outward. And you begin to hear voices. And so you begin to hear different almost voices that you're not used to. You hear sort of like whispers, you hear kind of frustrated breathing, you start to hear just sound that wasn't there before, and you also start to hear things a bit more about what people are feeling and thinking around you. You start to hear like how Nakia feels about his current situation, or how
Interesting.
or whose upsetness at being mistreated and unfairly so.
Yes.
Warren
you hear
comes
all those,
nothing but still
and
continue.
you begin to hear like, so why are you here?
Well, like I said, we're
Well, I
on our
already
way
said
to what's that place?
Well, we were
not Dornmar.
Specifically,
we
came
were here. We specifically came here because we were looking into Brandobaras.
True. that
On the
too.
way to Blomgard.
Yes, on the way to Bloomgard. That's true.
But we also wanted to find out what was happening with this city.
True, we heard crazy rumors about this place, and she's got this magic map that's we're trying to track this guy, and he's been here, so we're like, hey, we'll check it out, see what happened, find some clues, and then we'll finish our way on to Bloomgard.
The sign.
There's just that sigh. You notice the king seems to have moved with the sigh. You're kind of getting the sense that like this is allowing you to speak to people, and that they don't have the ability to speak verbally anymore. They need to do so through magic, and not everyone knows it. So, the king just kind of leans back for a moment. The queen's just kind of just upset, and you can hear it through just breathing. Still kind of mad.
There was an emotion for shrug. You'd probably hear that from Goo. She's not actually shrugging.
A bit of emotion, a bit of thought. Kind of grossly meshed.
As you
And-
guys listen to Brand's thoughts, it's just screams of agony. Just throwing it out there.
My thoughts are just kind of like.
After a moment, the wizard kind of turns it a bit, and then Brian goes silent, and he can't hear anything. Heard.
I'm probably just kind of thinking. I wonder if they just wanted. If they wanted to be skeletons, if they are turned into skeletons, I'm like, oh wait, they can hear what I'm thinking. I hope I'm not too rude.
This is a bit more of the music now. Because you do notice that it's really not that grim anymore in this hall. It's over finesse, and they're all still skeletons and dead, but they don't seem to be that upset. And they're just, the king's just sitting there, and he's just he's kind of giving this look to the heavens, as only a skeleton can. I'm just like, what do I do with this?
I mean, this is one way of.
And then he's just like, you seek Brando Berry?
Brandobaras.
Brandobaris. It's somebody who stole, and I'll point
He
over.
stole my civic virtue.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
Is he gonna
that's
say
a good
that
point.
explains so much?
Yeah, that's a great point in your favor. Like, you can't help this.
Everybody in the party. Oh, that makes sense.
Good.
Like, that's a
could,
good
uh,
argument.
If you could turn
Perhaps.
into animated skeletons.
Or
that could be
perhaps you're
one
just
way
a
of
lousy thief.
getting,
I don't think she was
Immortality.
anticipating everybody to come back alive either.
I mean, I am a thief, but it is a legit thing. I have been my civic virtue has been stolen. It was a thing, and it was a guy by the name of Brandobaras, and this map says that he was here. I want my civic virtue back.
What could be with civic virtue? That's what I want to know.
She certainly
mean-
wouldn't be stealing crowns from monarchs.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Well, the monarchs are dead.
I suppose we can forgive you. It is a festive day.
Ooh,
Ooh, parties! I love parties! I know this one little dance movie where you kind of shake your hips like, woo!
That was a quote from something, but I don't
It's
know what it
we
was.
call
I
her.
feel like Koo's gonna kick her again.
It's there's a reason we call her crazy.
Koo's gonna kick her again.
Oh, as always. The king's just so upset. The queen's just fuming. You know, it's like she talked more. She's normally quite friendly, but you've worked her quite seriously.
I'm sorry on behalf of my friends there. If I
Someone
didn't
has
want
to
it,
be. I'm not.
I tried. She's too good for me.
I am.
I think Brent's still silent, or else he'd also.
But I do want to know the history of this town.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that
What's
is.
to know? We're all dead. And then all
Why?
the skeletons just give the little cackle.
Ha.
The little like clickety clicks, and there's like the laughter that goes with it that's a little too normal. It's kind of creepy.
How
I'm just gonna be like, why?
It's not even fake. It's like just they're just laughing at it. They think it's funny.
How did you die?
You have to
Why
say.
are you all dead?
The king gets up and he's just like, you sit in one spot for over 10 years and don't eat a drink, you'll die too.
I'm pretty sure you'll die a lot sooner than 10 years.
Oh, it took me about a week.
Brent's.
Why?
While I was asleep. I don't remember.
Oh my goodness.
We were all asleep.
Do you know
So the story
any reason
goes.
why?
Hmm?
Do you know any reason why?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Magic.
To be fair,
He takes his like scepter that he's got that just was kind of nestled into his bones and just kind of thumps it on the floor a bit because he's loving his day.
Why are you alive now?
Magic.
Why are you? Magic.
do you like it? Is this like, are you happy with your fate here?
Are you happy with yours?
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh,
With
But
that-
that's because I don't feel the shame or guilt of having stolen
With
from
that
me.
question about why am I
It's
here?
about as good as being alive, only, you know, not as demanding.
and Burl's over here.
Well, you
just
can't
like,
move during the day. That kind of sucks.
Surrounded by idiots.
I always wanted to sleep more.
So you don't care if we try and break this curse?
He's like, it'd be nice. I'd like to have flesh one day. He kind of gets as far as looking, he's like, eating things was pretty good.
So, do you have any inkling of what led up to this fate? Anything out of the
Well, of
normal?
course I know something.
We could help you if you'll give us information.
We can try to help.
We can try to help you.
We would like to know what happened to see if there's
Well-
anything that we can do to help out your situation.
I mean, not to put any words in your mouth, but I don't think they necessarily want help. They sound pretty good
it sounds
to
like-
me.
He just
They'd be happy
said
with it.
he would like to have flesh again.
Someday.
Someday, maybe not. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to put any words in your mouth.
I get it. He kind of thumps his staff and he's like, the king will speak, thank you. Thank you. You know, he kind of like looks around, he's making sure that like, not all like some of the skeletons are like little whisperies. He's like, nobody talks.
It's like a judge with the gavel.
Oh,
just
it's
like,
very much like a judge with the gavel, only it's like really loud and metal on stone. So it's like gung, 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 gung. And he's just like, he's loving it.
I love this man.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, well, see, it all starts when you get married and life goes downhill. And then the queen just slaps him again. You know, it's just this, his crown just like falls off his head and he's just having a good time. And there's just a lot of goofy times for a moment. He's like, no, it's because you disrespect the wrong people. And then they curse you. And everyone you know, and everyone you didn't know.
So who'd you disrespect?
At this
Beside-
point, I'm not sure who I
I
did
said besides us. Besides us. Who'd you disrespect?
I didn't disrespect you at all, young man. I don't remember you at all. We haven't met before, have we? I mean, you look kind of ugly.
No, I think you mean he looks average.
Brand's just gonna like hate
Isn't
us.
that what
Hates
ugly
him.
means?
No, I've seen uglier people.
I think the words have changed. It's been a while.
Brand's just like really sad now, like deeply sad.
He's like, don't be sad.
He can't handle that kind of talk.
He puts the king steps down the steps from the throne, puts his bony, nasty, cold hand on Brand's shoulder and says, there. It is rough to be ugly among the beautiful. And then he's like, of course there's a problem. We're all cursed. And the problem with curses is you're never really sure, and so you just blame someone you don't like. So we all blame that one hag, that one time.
Does that happen?
I don't even remember her name, really.
Does it happen to be
Wasn't that important? That's probably why she was mad.
Bogdana? Ring any bells?
No, that's not the name I remember.
Does she
I wonder
live
if it's one of her
within this
sisters?
city? Maybe
Well,
not.
of course she had to live
city.
nearby. Nobody gets mad if they live across the universe from you.
Can you point us her direction? Maybe we
Of course, he
can
uses
help.
universe. He says world, but it's like in this really archaic term that's only used for like the solar system now.
So you have no idea why you were cursed.
Well, he obviously upset somebody.
Well, yeah, but I mean specifics.
Besides us,
A hag.
Brad's still very upset.
Well, maybe an
I'm just curious how you
archfey.
think you were.
Yeah.
A what? An
by the king.
archfey?
Yes.
What happened there?
Getting fresh.
Well, you don't invite her to a party and she
Before
gets real
you
mad.
accused him of disrespecting you,
Okay.
he was
What kind
Cat
of
said we
party?
invited
He wasn't
the
fresh
other
at
ones.
Oh,
It's
you
just
invited the other ones,
Of
but not
course.
her.
Not being truthful.
There's this one
They
player
act
like
like
She's being
not
purposely
inviting, like they're like Dutch Fae are everywhere. They just show up whenever they want.
Disrespect.
So we figured we'd invite those we knew. Didn't turn out well.
It
Obviously.
reminds me of that one play of what was it? The
What
Beauty
was
and the Beast play. Except
Sleeping
instead of
Beauty.
Yeah.
skeletons, it was a monster. I think I would like skeleton more than monster.
Very nice.
What was the
Very
party
nice, very
for?
nice.
Oh yeah. That's
So
what
this
I
is our daughter's birthday. Daughters, plural.
You have many daughters.
Just two.
Twins, right?
I mean,
Are they twins?
two is more
you
than
said
one.
daughters, being the two sharing a birthday, they're twins.
That's there too.
Or they were born on the same day.
Being
Happy
twins.
birthday.
Different years.
True.
No, they're twins, all right.
Okay, that's also. How old are they?
Where are they?
Dead years old. Kind of like cackles and slams his thing again. And you just kind of like get the sense that everyone's embarrassed to be around the king, but they're also like, he is the king, so we kind of respect him anyway.
Just an unending spew of dad jokes going on.
You gotta understand, like,
So
he's probably spent so long just sitting there listening to people talk about things he doesn't care about. He's just does not care
There was a
anymore.
crib. A big crib.
I'm
Big enough to
wondering,
hold two babies.
So, yeah,
Sir
it was-
King,
How
where
about you in our room? He's
Where's-
just looking, he's just like,
Sorry.
how rude. And he kind of like bops you like bluntly. Just like, he just takes the staff and he goes, how dare you?
Getting bopped on the head.
Shame, and like he kind of like rallies the crowd to shame you.
what?
I was gonna say maybe the
He's ashamed.
And a shame you.
Those the skeletons.
They shame you in person for invading their privacy, like a terrible person.
It said
Sorry,
nothing
we
about
didn't
this.
know it was your room. Like I said, we're here looking for clues. For the guy that stole her civic virtue, we're just checking everything out.
Well, I don't know of any Brando, Barry, Barnabas
Raise your
Boo.
hand really high.
That's what I eventually.
Yes, you in the back.
Yes, thank you, kind king.
Need to get
You
this
mentioned
one.
that it's your daughter's birthdays, but where are they?
Well, okay. He kind of gives the queen a look, and she gives him this look back, and they're just like, eh. It's a messy look. It's like, really? And this is kind of like those conversations that only people who've spent time doing it before can do, you know, where they just kind of look at each other and kind of make little faces and just like, and it's really, really awkward because they're both skeletons, so they have like little like jaw movements and things, and so they just kind of like skeleton at each other for a bit.
Yeah, who's gonna keep looking at them until they give her a straight answer?
All right. He goes, why not? Could always use some excitement. And we're gonna leave off there.
Dang it! The mystery will be revealed in the next episode.